the Children of Primus.
Welcome.
Oh, yeah.
Today.
We're all good. How's everyone doing?
I'm good. Ready for a brand new week.
In the middle of a large transformation.
A large transformation. And what would that be?
Oh,
We can't start the stream off with already going left.
Did my presence make things go left?
Now, hopefully you're gonna PG-ify the whole thing.
Yeah.
Please, my sensitive child ears.
You know, like if somebody didn't know that Bill and I lived in real houses, like you would think we were in toy museums. That's what my mom said the other day when she looked at our stream.
I always said that like the package section there in the middle of Bill's room always makes me think that I'm looking at a booth at a convention.
Yeah, totally. It totally gives that impression.
But I mean, it's cool.
Well, this big cabinet that I'm standing at right now.
Yeah.
Is the camera on me at all?
Yeah.
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 Well, now we just see the Deadpool shirt, but it was on you before.
Panning up to Unicron. Okay, we're taking.
I like the dramatic pan. It's really fun.
Yeah. No, stay on him with the dramatic pan all the way up to Unicron there.
Dun, dun,
Yeah.
dun.
You got him in planet mode. So, because the last few weeks we've been seeing him up there in bot mode.
Yeah. Which way you trying to go?
Well, I'm going to do a photo shoot with him and all the SS's and the picture of the original Transformers movie. You know, with him standing in the background and then all of them aiming up at him.
That looks great. That other Unicron you have there, or is that Cybertron? Like you could photograph it as
that's
a
Primus.
moon. Yeah, Primus.
Yeah.
But he could be a moon in a nice photograph there.
Yeah.
So I see you got Unicron partially transformed. What did that take you? 4 hours?
I've been working on him for about 22 minutes.
Okay.
Wow.
Okay,
Good job
you're
for
fast.
22 minutes.
Oh, he's really simple. Other than the 3 tabs, that one that I couldn't find. There's only one little picture of it, and I had to find it in the instructions to find out how to get this one little section of him out of the way. And that was what. Otherwise, it had been about 15 minutes, and he'd have been transformed.
All right.
But yeah, all these little reverse tabs that are on him suck.
I legitimately wonder now, what the world record is for transforming HasLab Unicron, like time-wise.
Well,
I think somebody should speedrun it, see what they can pull off.
No, it's funny when Deceptikitty asked him how long, because instantly I was thinking that would be a challenge, like one stream. Can you do a complete transformation of HasLab Unicron within the 2 hours?
Oh
yeah. I believe when it was first coming out, like, and they were doing the transformation of the prototype, they were saying that the transformation should take about 30 minutes.
Yeah.
Should.
I believe that. That's that.
So
I tend to see
if you're
45 minutes
really
or so.
good, you'll do it quicker. If you're really good, you'll do it quicker. If you're not so good, you'll take a little longer.
Oh, for
I remember
sure.
I was playing with those Moon Studio train bots, and like one of those took me like 45 minutes to an hour to transform.
Okay.
I'm slow, so I can see
Okay.
Unicron being like a 4 or 5 hour venture for me.
I mean, like this. If you give me the screen for a minute, I'll see if I can show you this. Most of his entire body is this way. You pick it up and you, and there it is.
Yeah, shell form.
And it's
Biggest
a
shell
whole
former
side.
ever.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, his legs fold up behind him, his arms wrap around his legs, and then you take the head off.
Wow.
Oh, the head doesn't fold
And then
in.
the rest of it is putting all these shells together.
He's a
But
headmaster.
there was one stabilizer right here beside his arm that actually supports the kibble on his back, and I missed how it went, and I ended up having to take the arms and the legs back down, and that's where you all came in. I was in the middle of doing that.
Okay.
Because so basically I've done him twice in 35, 40 minutes.
Oh,
But
nice.
confirm something for me, Bill. Did you say that
Yep.
you must remove the head for the transformation? Like the head will not go into the planet?
Correct.
Oh, that's whack. I didn't know that.
Nah, I got mine transformed with the head in it. Why can't you get yours transformed with the head in it?
Your
Yeah,
head-
Bill, you might be cheating, Bill. You might be skipping a step where you fold the head inside.
You got
Well,
to
there's
turn the
nothing on the
horns
head
in.
that folds.
The horns turn in.
Not on this one.
Freakenstein, you have the HasLab?
Yeah, I've transformed it.
Yeah, Bill, this is the
Yeah,
first time hearing. It's the first time hearing
Yeah.
that the head does not go inside.
Won't move.
I haven't.
And maybe if I put some more force on it, they will. But I'm not going to do that.
Well,
Or you know
don't-
what?
Well, I guess his neck would lay all the way back, so that might do it. But I just take it off.
Yeah.
Or the feature for the reason the feature exists for taking the head off for anyone who wants to display the end scene of
Yeah,
Transformers the movie.
Yeah.
Sure.
Even has
Yeah,
the
but it's
destroyed
not-
faceplate, so we can do that.
Yeah.
And swap it out.
But it's not big enough. It's not big enough to do that, to have any other characters with it.
Or recreate the scene with with Starscream. But yeah, again, it
You know-
wouldn't size wise it wouldn't work properly unless you got like those world's smallest
I was going to
characters.
say, I have a couple right here, and I'm like, I bet you these guys would work nicely. They're about the size of Titan Masters, so
Yeah. Well, I mean, those look great next to Unicron himself, but not necessarily just next to the head. But maybe.
Yeah, what I would like to see is like miniatures, like Warhammer tabletop figures of Transformers. That would, I like model kits, and that'll be cool. Like we don't have anything that small and that detailed for Transformers. I don't think.
yeah,
I don't
like
know
these are
what-
getting there, but they're not like Warhammer levels of quality.
No.
It's clear that's what
Yeah,
they're
but
shooting for, but they're also like
Do you all
cheap.
play Warhammer?
I used to play
Warhammer's
Warhammer. I used to be.
small.
I used to
Warhammer's
be
not
orcs.
small. I mean, I got 3 armies right there. I can bring a piece in here.
Yeah, let's see.
The figures,
Who-
that. I have every Necron that's ever been printed.
Well,
Is that
as
how you
he's
play Necrons?
as he's getting the figures, welcome everyone to another episode of the Frenzy Freestyle Sunday from the Children of Primus. Where
Welcome.
And this week's guest, we have that toy guy who's on YouTube and Instagram, so he will be joining us shortly.
I just find it
We're all excited.
not merely content to have one expensive hobby. Bill has also decided to get into Warhammer, which is even more expensive.
I
Sick.
think he
also
started
play
with
Magic,
Warhammer.
you know.
God damn! Which of those
Also play
three? Which
Magic.
of those 3 hobbies you think sets you back the most?
Magic the Gathering, probably.
Really?
Oh wow, okay.
But it's probably also the one that I have the most value with.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have cards that are worth, thousands and thousands of dollars.
That one looks
Wow.
nice.
Vans Toys quality sticker, number 30.
And welcome James Coleman on YouTube. He says, "Hey guys, I was low on cash to get 2 core class, no ideas, and Frenzy Red till a secret Santa went to GameStop and bought those 2 figures for me. I was really overwhelmed and happy."
Oh man, I love it when
What a
stuff like
nice
that
story.
happens.
Yeah, right on.
Heartwarming adventure for the warming us up for the holiday season.
If you know, you
Oh.
know.
Oh yeah, let's see. I know Black Lotus. That's gosh.
Black Lotus is probably
That's how-
something I recognize.
You don't recognize any of the boxes?
No, I don't know Magic.
I don't know anything about it.
I have all the boxes and an Ancestral Recall. Time Twister. I almost had a full set of Power and some of the revised dual lands originals.
Now, how come you don't have these in plastic cases?
No, they are.
Oh,
Oh, they're just in classy sleeves.
Mm-hmm.
I just have a lot of a display I have hanging there.
I believe in that was the equivalent of him fanning out several $1,000 bills for the camera.
Right. None of it. We didn't really get it because we don't know. But yeah, that's what he actually did. He was just really flossing.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All right, we got some nice cars on display. What do you got there, Micah?
So this is a throwback Transformers Alternity line, Mitsuoko Orochi Starscream. So
Nice.
this was, we brought this one up like on one of the first streams I was on, and yeah, it's a very obscure figure, but I really like this. I love that I held on to this guy.
That alt mode looks amazing. What is the bot mode look like?
So the bot mode, it's kind of funny, but it's obviously more for the car mode. They did a crossover with the car company, Mitsuoko.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, nice.
It's a star screen, but it's an odd-looking star screen. And what's in that box there?
What do we got there?
MPM
Ooh, that looks nice.
S2 Commander. What third party is this?
MPH. That's what they're called. But look at the
Miles
artwork
per hour?
look at little artwork right there out the side of the box.
That's great. Is this a K? This looks like a KO or something.
Nice.
And then on the top of the box, and then this big old warning. I've never seen a warning on a box like this before.
What does the warning say?
Oh shit!
Don't smoke while handling this product.
Whatever. Discard the package at will.
Because you fucked up.
Which will cause damage to the environment. There are some differences between the products and the pictures. Use the material object as the standard! Exclamation
It's got so many warnings on here, it's not even funny. But the character, very complicated little guy. Very complicated little guy. But
is that a KO? Is that a KO of Magic of New Age?
No,
you know what? It's its own thing, man. It's really its own thing. It is not like New Age. It is not like Magic Square. It's its own thing. But
it's a cool new company.
Looks like a Legend.
Yeah.
Sorry, new company you said?
Yeah. They got his trailer coming. They got Warpath coming. I'm not taking it out. No. It's so frustrating. Box? Yeah, it's so frustrating, bro, to transform them. I'm not even gonna get there.
Yeah, I saw your video there. It kept falling apart, which is unfortunate, but it is their first figure, and they did an upgrade kit for this figure before they actually released a second figure, which is interesting. So they re-released the upper body, so you could buy this upper body as an upgrade kit, which it actually looks really cool. There are some really cool gimmicks to it that are really fascinating. Like, for example, the hip skirts mimic the MP44. When the leg comes up, they fold in. I love that. And I think that's a great design, and how they adopted that into that tiny figure. I think that's a great idea. Unfortunately, it's a small figure, and it's hard to like make a figure first shot and get everything to fit out of the mold. Yeah. So clearly they have to do like a remold and rework the mold for this one. But that's a lot of money. But it's a good try. It looks really good, nonetheless.
Cool.
I'll see if I can get a picture.
So, but we can see, Freakenstein, you did a review on your channel, or you're going to do a review on your channel?
I already did the review, and I cut out the transformation part because, again, like Deceptikitty was saying, here's Magic or New Ages, right? And even these little horns for Optimus Prime here, they would, every time I even just moved his head, they would pop off, like both sides. No. So, you know, I was getting to become a pain in the ass, and when I was transforming it, every time I moved to transform something else, one would pop off, and I'd have to untransform it and stick it back on, and I was like, no, I'm not putting this in the video. I'm sorry, it's not happening.
I've heard of Prime's smokestacks falling off, but never his ears. That's a new one.
The smokestacks too. The smokestacks too. They come off real easy.
That's a more common. That's a more common Optimus Prime issue across the multiverse.
Yeah, well, I'm surprised on the head of that. It's really like copies the G1 design.
Yeah.
But I would say, Freakenstein, for those watching or listening, where can people find that review?
On my channel, FREAKENSTEIN, 1984, and it's one of my newer actually reviews that I did. It's got a good numbers going, but again, I'm gonna do another review with it once I get the upgrade kit, because I already invested money into it. I'm gonna get the upgrade kit just because I want to see if it actually will handle as good, or I'd expect it to handle as good as this legacy guy. You know what I mean? Like that's what I would expect. This is the Hasbro little guy. I'd expect it to be about this quality, but right now it's just not. Like it cannot compare to New Ages right now. Right now.
In what way though? What? How do you mean compare? In what way? Like, what I want to know first.
Measure up, but it doesn't measure up.
Yeah, for paint job, articulation, style. The only thing I like a lot better. Yeah, the only thing I like a lot better about this new character is the back kibble is not there anymore. It's really clean. He doesn't look so wide and thick, right? So I like that about him, and that's why I want to get the upgrade kit, because maybe that will fix some of the issues that I'm having with him, trying to get him to pose.
Yeah, I noticed it does fix the shoulder issue you had there when the shoulder popped off when you're trying to pose it. They extended the shoulders out there so you could actually get like that lateral movement there. I think it looks great. I think like G1 movie accurate type of thing. For me, that's my style.
It looks very cool, and the style, the sort of muscular proportions is reminiscent of the Magic Square style more so than the New Age style.
Yeah.
I wonder if what they've done with this transformation, Micah, I don't know if you handled the, or if anybody here, maybe Freakenstein, you have the 2.0 of the Masterpiece scale Magic Square Optimus Prime.
I do. I just put it away though. Yeah, he's wrapped up and put in a tote already. So.
Okay, so Freakenstein, so tell me this: is this new Legend scale Optimus Prime borrowing some of the engineering from that Magic Square Masterpiece?
No.
Okay.
No. Magic Square is on its own level with that character. And I don't have a comparison for their little legacy size Optimus Prime because I haven't bought that one. But you're talking about, I think it's called Light of Peace version 2.0.
Right, Light of Freedom. Light of Freedom.
Yeah. Yeah, and honestly, that's when I look at him on the shelf as Optimus Prime, not in truck mode, just Optimus Prime.
Yeah.
It's like looking at the cartoon every goddamn day, every day.
Yeah, it's awesome,
like,
right?
It's ridiculous. It's just ridiculous.
But so would you say that those kind of proportions are similar to what they're going for here in terms of that big chest and the big arms? Yeah.
Yeah, they're trying to. They're really trying. Like, don't get me wrong. It's beautiful to look at. It's really beautiful to look at. But as soon as
execution, they didn't nail it.
Yeah. As soon as you try to transform it, it's like no panel fits into the other panel correctly. You could tell that, whatever mold that they use, there's some little bit of like rough edges that should have been cleaned up, stuff like that. But
it's telling you to such a quick mea culpa about it with the upgrade kit, like immediately.
Yeah.
So quickly before we bring our guest in, Deceptikitty, what are we looking at for the images that you sent?
Okay, so these are just a few close-ups I took from the page that we're actually looking at right now of this MPH Studios Commander. I think it's really cool.
Okay. So we look forward to better things from this company going forward.
I think so. I'm going to keep my eye on them for sure. They're just starting out.
Well, they got the Warpath coming in. Like, I want that one. It's only going to be like $25. I want that one.
Nice.
What's the plastic material like on that figure?
The plastic is like ABS, PE, PA. It's just standard plastic. Really, there's no.
But like compared to New Age versus Magic Square.
It'd be more on Magic Square side.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
So good.
Yeah.
Oh, no, Magic Square is more mushy.
Yeah.
Okay, so not good.
So far, everything that I got from that is Magic Square is. Let me see if I got one in here.
I heard, I'm not sure if it's a mistranslation, but I heard the upgrade kit, upper body of that Prime is nylon, which is totally new for a Transformer.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
so like, here's one of their Magic Square characters right here. He's really short and stocky, but this is just their black Ironhide there.
Ironhide, yeah.
But like, nothing sticks together the way it's supposed to.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
I'm sorry, but you know, I hate to say it, but New Age is kicking ass, in my opinion, for the legacy sizes. If you're out there and you're gonna start collecting these legacy stuff, I don't care what people have been saying about the sizes. To me, the size comparison is just amazing. Like, okay, so here's Jetfire.
If it's a game,
here's Optimus Prime. That's how they should look. That's how they should look. Not new, like for what is it? Magic Square. The Optimus Prime would be like this. You know what I mean? Like he'd be a lot smaller.
If it's a game, I would say whoever's making the most money is the one who's winning. Like for those MPH Prime figures, I'm not sure about the price, but let's say like, okay, the quality isn't 100%, they're just starting out, but let's say it's a little bit cheaper and they could possibly sell more, you know. So
yeah,
but yeah, we want to see new companies do well.
Are those official or KOs? These guys?
No, these are extreme KOs. These are like fourth party KOs. They don't weigh anything.
A stiff breeze could blow them away.
They look good. They were free with an order that I did.
Wow.
Here, you could pick 3 things off this list, and I was like, well, hell, I'll take that up. I'm not. Well, then, okay, I'll take that one. And they came in and said, oh, look at that. They don't even have boxes.
They just threw them at you.
Yeah.
You know what's funny is like I just did a couple months ago the same ones that you just showed, but the oversized ones, and they were all die cast, and I love them. They were great. They look good.
No, these are extremely light plastic. I'll bet they don't weigh 4 ounces a piece.
Yeah, those are tiny compared to the ones I did, but they're the exact same ones. I could tell just by looking at them.
Oh, nice.
Okay, so CW85 on YouTube said, waves hello. So, hello CW, how's it going? James Coleman says, in TFCon 2018, I got Wei Zhang Optimus Prime, and thankfully, I have no trouble with the product. Got it for $150. And
nice.
Evan Former says, Legends scale suck, MP all the way. And now we shall welcome that toy guy to the stream.
Oh, here we are. Hello.
Hello. You can hear me okay? This is working?
Yes.
Perfect.
Well, welcome.
What do you say?
You sound just like on the TV.
So as we welcome you to the stream, myself, Spin, as the host, Professor D in the top center is one of the longtime members, Mr. Magnus in the top right, another longtime member, Fair Courage on the right side, also a member and a writer who does our weekly reviews on the Children of Primus website, FREAKENSTEIN along the center left. Also a longtime member now, and Deceptikitty on the bottom corner, who's actually somewhat of a manufacturing expert. Yeah, so we welcome you. Thank you for joining.
Thank you for having me.
Cool. And actually, before we start, where can people find you?
YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, any like fast food restaurant. No, I'm kidding.
Somehow you got the name on lock. I typed that toy guy into Google, no other context, and your channel was the first thing. So
yes. The interesting thing about that name is it's a marketing thing, right? Because it's easy to remember, it's easy to say, and it sort of just explains like, oh, you're expecting this, but I don't like it at the same time. I don't like saying it out loud. It sounds weird. It sounds corny.
Right. Because of the generic aspect.
Yeah, because it's super generic. It's super just.
Yeah.
You understand what I mean, but like, it's
but
just,
when you own, but to own a highly generic thing that's impressive.
Yeah, so
right? That was clever marketing from the get go.
Yeah, that's what 3 years of marketing school does for you.
Well done.
What was the name of that school?
Wasn't a very good school. I wouldn't recommend it.
You know.
Yeah, so checking all your videos and everything, explain to the viewers, listeners, what do you do on your channel?
I do toy reviews of Transformers, and I spend too much money and show you guys what I spend my money on. I try to make them sort of like less the traditional style of plop thing in front of camera and talk about it, because that's a good style and a lot of people use it, and I watch a lot of people who do that, but I find doing it myself kind of boring. Like, you got to do stuff that's fun for you, so I like to put things in front of the camera and then change the way the camera looks, change the angle, maybe change the lighting a little bit, and sort of just give you fancy shots while telling you what I think about X product. Yeah. That's what I do.
I feel like most of them are 10 minutes, and a lot of them don't run over 13 minutes, and then anything longer than that is like a rarity.
Yeah, I try to keep them not as short as possible, but short enough, because people's attention spans nowadays are getting shorter and shorter. Mm-hmm. So making a video that just gets to the point of what you want to say and showing people what you want to show them, and it's not too long, they tend to watch more of the video when they go, oh, that's not 45 minutes. I'll watch that one. And so it just kind of helps people.
Totally. Totally
cool. And then what got you into Transformers and when?
I got into Transformers technically when I was 1, when my uncle gave me his G1 side. It was really broken, but he gave me his G1 side swipe. Nice. I don't think you should probably give a 1-year-old a G1 toy just because, all the small bits.
Lead paint.
It was already broken, you said.
Yeah. Like the spoiler was falling off. It's fallen off now. I have it still, but it's in shambles.
Nice.
That was my first introduction into Transformers. My first introduction into collecting.
But it's awesome. It's awesome that you still have your first Transformer.
Oh yeah,
a few of us do, and not every collector does. So that's also a point that you get.
Yes, that, and even if I wanted to sell it, I couldn't because it's broken in like 40 different places. But the thing that got me into collecting was the what was it? First movie, Voyager Starscream. I got that, and I was like, I love this thing, because I was super into Bionicles when I was a kid, quite a bit, and Transformers was just sort of on the side. And then that movie came out, and then the toys came out, and I got Starscream, and I went, okay, this is my life now.
So that is really weird, because I think that is also the first Transformer, Voyager Starscream from the 2007 that I bought when I got back into collecting after my own hiatus. So it's really weird that you'd also start with that one.
Yeah, and I love that mold. I have like almost all the versions, and I'm pointing them because they're up there, including the stupid DVD one.
I was about to ask the pink HD DVD one.
Yeah, show us your favorite one.
There it is.
The pink one,
Oh man! Remember HD DVD when they tried to have that format war with Blu-ray and then they lost?
Yeah.
This guy came with the HD DVD of like the 07 movie, I think, but it was like in Japan.
$900 for this thing. That's ridiculous. I didn't pay that much. I want to make that absolutely clear. But when you had to buy this, you had to pay $900 for the Toshiba DVD recorder. It wasn't even a DVD player. It was a DVD recorder, which makes it even better because it says DVD player on it, but it's not. And then you had to go to the counter with your receipt, present it, and then they give this to you. But the promotion didn't do well because the player was $900 and nobody wanted to spend that much money. So these ended up going to discount stores. I don't know how much they were, but like 10 of them made it to a discount store in Japan, and that's how a few of them made it online, and I was able to buy one.
Wow.
Actually,
I was able to get one.
I love that.
It's like, how did you hear about the stash of Chevrolet Aveo swerves that wound up in like dollar stores in Ontario a couple of years ago? I got one from that stash.
One of my local shops has one right now.
Yeah.
It's really cool. It's $70, but it's really cool.
Oh, they were like $5. Somebody just found a buttload of them in a dollar store. They must have been from like the old mall promotions and stuff. But yeah, it was the same sort of thing where they just wound up on discount somehow.
Yeah. I have the I don't know if you guys have heard of Transformers Neza. I don't know how to pronounce it.
Oh
but it's
yeah,
that, That
the
like
canceled,
weird,
aborted China cartoon.
the China show. Yeah.
Yeah.
I found like there was a case of the 3-packs that was just found once and put online, and so I bought one. It's in that mess over there, but like I bought one.
Nice.
Yeah, I remember seeing somebody's like photo reviews of them at some point.
Cool. So James Coleman on YouTube says, "Welcome, Toy Guy, to Children of Primus. Hope to see you at TFCon 2024."
I will be there.
Nice. RJ Eagle says, "Hey, panel and gang. Good to see you guys, and warm welcome to that Toy Guy. Love your reviews, and so great to have you on."
Thank you very much.
And Toy Vintage Reviews, another one of our members, not able to make it tonight, but he's in the comments and says that's an expensive Dorito.
Burrito.
This is like what are the red ones
Ultra.
called? Like Sweet Chili Heat? Something like that.
My friends call it the Sriracha Starscream.
Sriracha Starscream. Yeah, there you go.
Sriracha Starscream. I like that.
There's also a Megatron. There's a Last Night Megatron that's the same color as this. It's a little
gosh.
engine toy, and we call it Sriracha Megatron.
Magenta Megatron.
Radish. RG Eagle also says
Radish rabbit.
one thing I love about your reviews, Toy Guy, is that you show a lot of love to the older waves, like
Yeah.
Reveal the Shield.
Yes. Even though I have I think I only have like 2 Reveal the Shield. I need to get more.
Hey,
But I like the old stuff. Like here, look, old toy. I love these
Yeah.
things. They're great.
Want to see it again?
Old toys. I love
Yeah,
old. This one's
yeah.
not
Great
fully
workout.
transformed, but old toys.
Oh,
they're
that's
great.
Nice.
a cool Warpath.
Yeah.
Earlier today, I was just watching you reviewing the like 2007 Leader Optimus Prime because I never had that back in the day, and so I was like living vicariously through this video of it.
Highly recommend one, by the way. They're cheap and they're great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's the thing about making videos for people, right? Is that they get to live through what you got, right? What they can't afford, it they can't, or they don't collect, and they wish they could collect. You know, things like that.
Oh, yeah. I used to
Yeah,
do that a lot
none
when I
of us
was
can
in
buy
high school.
everything. Crazy.
No,
Well-
we can't.
Well, the one thing Professor D and I had a conversation that we kind of realized that within our collective, because right now we have kind of our core members on the screen, a couple are missing, and then we have somewhat like of an extended family of other members. Sometimes they can't come due to family, work, and so on. What's up to you guys? I know you're always there in the comments sometimes, but one thing we realized is between all the members that we have, we almost have everything, every transformer you could think of in terms of. Yeah, so it's like, if one you mention a character, someone has it, and someone's able to bring it on the screen. But I have a question for you. Do you have a holy grail of a character, or any characters that you haven't been able to track down, or also one that was a hard one to track down, but then you got it and you were either excited or disappointed of that character?
That's a lot of questions.
Yeah.
For the first part, which is do I have a grail? I actually recently acquired one of my grails.
Ooh.
It's supposed to be arriving tomorrow, but I don't know how Japan Post is going to do it. But I got a Super Link Wing Saber.
Ooh.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I got one sealed for $90 from Japan, and it should be here tomorrow. But that was one of my grails. I don't think I have a Transformer like Holy Grail right now. Just because everything that I have, I sort of already, or everything that I want, I sort of already accumulated, and I haven't really delved into much of the other aspects of Transformers I don't know much about. Because that's usually where I get my grails from. Is I'm like, oh, okay, this toy line, I have all the toys I want. Now let's go into it. Let's go explore a different toy line, and then I'll go and like, you go from Reveal the Shield to Beast Wars Neo to G1 to Hunt for the Decepticons and back and forth. But as for toys that I got that were grails that I was really excited about, obviously this one. This is one of them. And then G1 Fort Max was one that I really wanted for ages. And then I accidentally bought one. And then I was like, okay. I put a bid on Buy I didn't realize I did that. Because I was trying to figure out how, because I usually snipe stuff. I don't bid on stuff. So I was trying to figure out how the bidding works. And I placed a bid. And I was like, oh, okay, I guess whatever. And I forgot. I completely forgot.
Didn't realize that you would have won. Wow.
And then I won. And I only put $50 down on it. And he was missing a gun, one hip cannon, and Spike.
Oh my god, that's amazing.
Yeah.
And
so I got
then
that
you
for
don't
50
feel
bucks.
bad paying Primo for accessories to finish it because you're like the core figure was like
who
nothing.
cares?
Yeah, I got Spike for $20 off eBay. The hip cannon is the hardest part.
Wow.
And I got the Warden upgrade kit from Perfect Effect ages ago, and I just had it lying around, so he has 2 guns now. So all I need to do is find that cannon. He's complete.
Sweet.
It was nuts.
Cool. So James Coleman says it calls it Starscream. It's Radish Scream. And well, it says Fortress Maximus 87 Holy Grail never have.
Yeah, ditto. I have the more recent one, but yeah, I was never able to get that original G1. So good find. And I bid on that on eBay like 5 or 6 times, and then the price just went too high. Like once it got over $400, I was like, nah, I'm not in.
Mm-hmm.
You know. So that's amazing. You got it for $50.
I saw one at TFCon for I think it was $950.
Oh.
Yeah.
I was like, oh,
Exactly.
God, no, I'm not paying that much. I didn't expect to win the $50 one. I put the bid and forgot about it, and then it's just
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
here you go, shipping now. And
Score. What a score.
And then I didn't believe it until it arrived at the house. I'm like, this isn't real until it shows up. And then this box, it was like this big.
There's this small child. I've seen them in person. They're small children.
It's heavy.
Yeah.
Oh my God, it's heavy.
Yeah.
Wait until the Lewin Resources one comes. That Lewin Resources one is like.
I have a Titan baby to rock to sleep here.
Oh, I need one of those still. I need one of those still.
My baby, so cute.
His like mouth is open.
Like been said,
I feed him with a bottle.
We got
I
everything.
feed him with a bottle.
The fact that you can actually feed that toy though is hilarious.
Yeah.
Love it.
Well,
So,
now, whereabouts are you located as far as United States, Canada?
Canada. I'm
Alright.
in
I
Canada.
am Canadian.
Are you Canadian?
Canadian.
Yeah, we represent Canada here.
Yeah,
Epic.
we're
I'm in
actually most of us
Ontario.
we're all pretty much most of us in the same neck of the woods here, so I think that's really cool.
Yeah, you know what? This is one of those rare streams where I think Mr. Magnus is the only American. Because there's
my
been
God.
other times it's been like
America's
half and
not
half
American.
for all Americans.
And speaking of America, I literally was waiting for my packages. It was supposed to be here on Friday. And then I get this message from Canada Post, oh, your packages have been delayed because of Thanksgiving from the United States. And I'm like, what?
Makes sense. Yep.
Gotta have the turkey.
My box with the Super Link Star Saber, Wing Saber, not Star Saber, wrong guy. That was delayed too because of Thanksgiving. It was supposed to be here Friday, and now it's going to be here tomorrow apparently. So we'll see.
Is there anything special about the Super Link version, or is it just like you don't have any version of the tooling?
I don't think there's any difference. I just bought it because it was cheap and it was in the box, and I went, that's the toy. I want it. And I don't think there's actually anything special between the two.
I didn't know who he was, so I looked him up. Which one is it that you got?
He is.
I think I posted it here in the chat.
Image in the. Yeah.
Oh, did you?
Oh, there we go. Let me share on
He
the
turns
screen.
into a pancake.
Oh, a wing.
He's just one wing.
Yeah.
It's hilarious. So yeah, I have this.
The Energon?
Yep, the Energon one. I have the Cybertron one, so I wanted that one as well.
Yeah.
There he
Star
is.
Saber looking guy.
There he is. He's great.
Oh, yeah.
He does nothing, but he's great.
Oh, I got that guy.
Nice.
Man.
Proud of that one, ain't they?
It's like a Megazord. His purpose is to stand there and look cool.
Yeah.
You know, for the
Right.
size that he is and what he is, when I picked him up, I thought he was going to be a hell of a lot heavier. He is not. He is so light. It's ridiculous. I'm like, whoa.
He's
Why
all
did I
hollow
just pay-
combined
yeah.
with Optimus.
I'm like, why did I just pay $100 for this thing? Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's
Over
funny.
here on
Sometimes-
eBay, they go for like $400. I was like, I'm not. No.
Wow.
Yeah, that's what I was just looking at. The prices range from 3 to 5.
Yep.
Well, see, I'm lucky because, like, where I'm at, I get to go out into the county and there's lots of it around me, and there's always garage sales, and, you know, you find some rare stuff in these things. Like, man, you know how many times, like, even 10 years ago, I seen Fort Max sitting in a bin, and, like, like, they're like, you can have it, you can have it, you can have it. And I was like, I can't have 30 Fort Maxes going on in my house, you know, but
Yes, you can make a Death Star scene with it.
Or you can sell it.
Exactly. Just connect them all. You connect them all
use
together and make Cybertron.
Yeah.
You can connect them all together, and you can make the tunnel scene, the trench scene with X-wing fighters.
Yes.
Yo, yes. That's a good idea.
James Coleman says, so am I, which he then replies, I am Canadian, .ca. And RJ Eagle has a question. So one question for that toy guy. What is the biggest flaw you find about certain Transformers figures? I like when you get annoyed when the figure can't stand up or has stability issues.
You have a whole series about that.
I like when you get annoyed.
Yeah, my biggest thing with Transformers is when they don't have heels. Like, how? How do you not do that? Yeah. Like, there are some toys, I've been messing with this guy. There are some toys like this that just don't have heels and they stand, and that's fine. And then there are some that don't. Oh, that's the mic. And it's like, it's 2023. How does X toy not have, like, what was a toy that didn't have heels recently? I'm trying to think.
I was laughing at your review of that, like, third-party Star Convoy that just wouldn't stand up and it kept falling over the whole time. And you had it edited, so it was just like...
This idiot.
Yeah. Oh no, that's Galaxy Convoy. I think it was Stellaris Promenon was the one you were reviewing.
That.
No, I was talking about Stellaris Promenon, but that with his giant wings. Jesus.
Oh yeah. I remember what you're talking about now. That one's upstairs. Yeah. But yeah, this guy just lives on the floor.
That's where he obviously wants to be. So.
You want the rest of his fingers? They're all right here.
Wow.
They all of them fell off.
So I got a question. Yes. How come you're not dabbling into the third-party companies? Like I always see you doing mostly just Hasbro stuff. Why aren't you dabbling into the third-party stuff?
Third party's expensive. That's pretty much what it boils. There's a lot of cool stuff, and like I have TF Safari who sends me a couple like every month or whatever to do videos on. Like they sent me this.
Oh, cool.
This guy right here.
Big drift.
Yeah, there you go. But
nice.
They're expensive. That's the main thing for me. Like I like where's it? Do I have a cheap one on the desk? Yeah, here we go. I like paying $40 for something like this as opposed to $125 on something like this. Like this.
Yeah. And you know what? That character that you got, I just got the Black Wheel Prime that's like that. And I decided to order another one because I seen someone painted it up like this guy, like the Voltron guy.
Ooh.
It was Lion-O, I think they painted him up as too. So like I wanna paint him like this guy.
I need to get that black one. It was on clearance on Hasbro Pulse and then it sold out and I was like, pain.
I got one over here somewhere because as is the case, apparently somebody's always gonna pull one of these out. Oh, here it is. I couldn't see it because it's black on black. There you go.
Yeah, black repaint always looks just swish.
It's really hard to tell on like camera and photos, but the thing that I like about his black deco is that it's different shades of slightly brighter and slightly darker colors. So in person, it doesn't wash out the details. It manages to look like nicely like multi-layered.
And the blue just looks amazing.
Yeah, just a little pop of blue.
Yeah, really sweet.
Yeah, I'll get one of those eventually. Hopefully GameStop will put it on like sale or something.
Yeah, I got this one because I had a gift card for GameStop. So.
Now you also do other toys like you do Lego and Bionicle. So do you find do you find that diversifying like the type of toys gets more viewers? Like you have a lot of subscribers for your channel. Like you for Transformers and toy reviews, like you're doing really well subscriber wise. Yeah. Do you think the Lego? Do you think the Lego and the Bionicle helps with that?
Unfortunately not. Like I'd love to do videos on because I just got this. This is the Japanese one. I just got this recently. I'd love to make a video on it, but the viewers aren't there for it. It's not that they're not there for it. They're not there for it from me. Like there are people who make videos on this stuff right now that get loads of views, but it's just 'cause people expect me to do this over this. If I spend the time, the same amount of time.
Oh, so you think you're pigeonholed?
Yeah, a little bit. If I spend the same amount of time I would on this, it would get like half the amount of views, and like it would be the same amount of work for less payoff. Like it'd still be fun to make, and I like doing these because they're fun.
But it is the interesting thing you're saying. If you're saying that it's not just because it's like it isn't a transformer, it's because your channel's dedicated to Transformers. So if you had a Bionicle channel, then it would be the reverse situation where you wanted to do a Transformer, but then you're only going to get half your views.
Yeah.
Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, pretty
much.
much.
So that's really interesting that, unfortunately, the answer to Deceptikitty's question is sort of the opposite. It's like YouTube does not incentivize you to diversify. YouTube itself sort of incentivizes you to be narrow and sort of pigeonhole people.
In a lot of cases, yeah. Because
too bad.
It's like if you do like lifestyle type content or whatever, that would be more so something that YouTube is more welcoming to diversifying your content and pushing it into different areas. But if you're solely focused on like a product aspect, like if one of them cell phone reviewers decided they wanted to try and start reviewing coffee makers, it just wouldn't work, right? So it depends on what you do on YouTube already that then dictates how your content is going to get pushed. And if you change what you normally do, it has a more likely chance of not getting pushed as much.
That's cool. Well, that's interesting. Well, that's already your videos come off as very genuine. Like you already seem like you're very much enjoying it, rather than trying to appeal to a certain audience. Like you're doing what you like, and you're still doing things. Yeah, that's cool. That's cool.
It helps,
that's what matters.
It helps keep it fresh. So one of the things I learned in school was, if you're going to make stuff like this, make something you would want to watch, because if you make something for other people, you're not going to have so much fun making it. But if you make something that you're going to want to watch, I mean, even though I don't like listening to my own voice, so I don't watch my stuff after I publish it, but if you want to watch that type of content, just make it. And so that's what I do, is I make stuff that I would want to watch. And people just happen to like it as well. So that works out.
Yeah, totally. I remember subscribing to you because of your shorts during the early 2020-ish times. And yeah, I think it was fresh, fresh YouTube content there for Transformers.
COVID, so I got bored and I started making that stuff.
Yeah, good stuff. Yeah, that kind of helped for a lot of things, COVID.
Well, it's interesting with as you guys are discussing with YouTube, kind of almost restricting the creativity of a content maker. Because really, when you think of like a Transformers fan, we're fans of like a lot of sci-fi stuff between, Star Trek, RoboCop, like Robotech, like just a ton of things. But I mean, interesting in terms of like Lego, like all of us have grown up with Lego, and even on the box it says, ages like 3 to 99. Like that's something that's existed forever. But for anyone, watching and listening, can you give them a bit more details in terms of the Bionicles? Because even I don't fully remember what the concept of that toy was.
So Bionicle was a toy line from there's one. That's the original one, actually.
This is the Bumblebee of Bionicle, effectively. I think it's fair to say.
It's the face of the franchise. It was a toy line from Lego that was created in 1999, and it released in 2001. And it was a line of buildable action figures. It was a new thing that the West hadn't seen yet, because Japan and stuff, they had Gunpla. Those are buildable action figures, but we didn't have them over here. And so Lego created this, and Lego created this because they were about to go bankrupt, and they needed something that would save them. And so they were doing, I forget exactly what the term was, but it's like shorthand marketing, kind of. They were producing a line of toys that would come out for a year, sell very well in that 1 year, and then never touch it again. And they kept doing that, and that wasn't selling. So they decided to change their viewpoint to do story-based toys. And they tried a couple different things, didn't really work. Then they landed on Bionicle, and Bionicle was supposed to last for 3 years and end with a theatrical movie. And it went on for 10 years, and then got a reboot in 2015, which lasted for 2 years because they didn't market it very well. But yeah, it's a toy line about 6 heroes that go on adventures around an island, and then it would move islands every couple of years and different sets of heroes every couple of years.
And did it ever culminate in a feature film?
There were 4 films released to DVD, but there were 4 movies, There were plans for a 5th, but it got canceled when the toy line got canceled.
Okay.
But the cool things that it was doing was like no one else was doing this. Like it would, first of all, assembling your own action figure. Second, the box that the toy came in was actually a part of the play pattern. So here's a box for one of the creatures, and this creature's an insect who lives in an egg. Well, the box is also the egg.
Nice.
So you can hang the set upside down once you've built it, and he's in there. And so like the box will be part of the toys. Like these guys, their boxes were cocoons that they would live in. The one that Courage had was the canister that they showed up onto the island in the story. So like there were all these different things that Bionicle was doing that made it the best toy for 6 years.
They made a way to sell a thermos.
Yes. Well, what's funny is
they gave you a free thermos with the figure. Like that's pretty cool.
A hockey Lego line came out because of this, and the canisters were actually water bottles. They had one of those like sucker lid things on the top, so you could wash them out and use them as water bottles for sports. That was the whole point.
That's
hilarious.
Yeah.
I have found a lot.
Packaging.
Like, I fell off Bionicle pretty early. I have a bunch of stuff from, like, the first couple of years, and that's about it. But, like, I found there's, like, a pretty big overlap between Transformers fans and Bionicle fans if you are of a certain age. Because there's a lot of points of commonality between them.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. There's a lot of Transformers fans I know who also were or still are Bionicle fans. Like, they're like, oh, yeah, I grew up with that. I have a bucket at home full of all the set. My bucket's on the floor right here of all my sets. Like, there's just so many people I know that I didn't know were Bionicle fans until like recently. I'm like, oh yeah, I used to have a few. It's like it's neat to see that there was such a big overlap between those two properties.
And it's funny that you say that because like I worked in a lot of tattoo shops, including my own shops, and other artists would keep bringing these Bionicle things, and I'm like, what is this? And you know what their answer was every time, because they knew I collected Transformers. They're like, this is the new Transformer. It's going to beat Transformers. I'm like...
I've heard that before. I've heard someone say that before.
What? How is this going to beat Transformers, man? I'm like, pick up the thing and I'm looking at it and, you know, big clumsy hands. Of course, pieces fall off because you put it together, right? And I'm like, no way this thing's beating Transformers. I got a G1 Optimus Prime that still doesn't fall apart. Come on.
From 2001 to 2006, it was the best-selling toys, around globally, which was nuts. It made $180 million in its first year, I think.
Nice.
And it was Lego's only point of profit for 3 years.
Wow.
Because Star Wars sucked so much money out of them at the time.
So it saved Lego, is what you're saying? It
did, yeah. There's a whole book on it and everything, like just how Bionicle saved Lego. It's nuts. And then they dropped it. Like 10 years, like, it's making like $4 less than it used to. Crap it, whatever.
Boardroom decisions. Yeah.
So
one
like
executive
inevitably
like Bionicle, so there's always
talent. I was looking at that Bionicles kind of stuff. Actually, last night I was laying in bed and I'm like, you know, I seen videos like they keep popping up of Bionicle. So like, I'm like, okay, I'm gonna check this stuff out. And then I found this site where they're doing like all metal, like the Connects. You remember the Connects?
Yep.
Okay, so they're doing like all metal, but they got their own like they put a tweak on it, and it's all like this steampunk stuff. And I'm like looking through the stuff, and they got like all these like robotic freaking steampunk dinosaurs and insects and all that kind of stuff like that. I'm like, I wonder if I could put that on the channel. But then I thought, you know what? I'm just going to buy one for myself, because if I get off of Transformers, that's when I start losing subscribers. Every time I toggle something that's not Transformers, I can see that subscriber kind of go, do. And then I got to...
It's always interesting watching that thing move when you make certain choices and do certain things.
Well, I've only been doing this for about a year now, so you know, I got sick and tired just looking at my collection, and I'm like, I got 3,000 Transformers around here. It's time to put them up. Everybody else is doing it. Why not? And I'm going to do it my way and have fun with it. Like, I do everything raw as shit, man. I do everything on my phone. I don't even know on the computer.
That's how I started, was just using my phone.
Okay, so that's a question I wanted to ask. When you started, did you ever get discouraged?
I mean, so I started right when I was in, I believe, high school, and I don't like high school, so I try to like block it all from my brain. But high school was a time for me that wasn't very good, so I would do this as like an outlet kind of thing. And then college hit, and I just didn't feel like doing anything, so I just stopped doing the whole YouTube stuff. So I guess that would have been the point where I felt a bit discouraged, was just because college was rough the first like 2 years, because I first did computer systems and I hated it, and it just made me not want to do anything, including YouTube. So I just didn't do anything. And then I changed programs. I was like, oh, okay, cool. And then I got back into it, and now it's where it is now.
Right on.
Yeah, your channel grew quick in the last few years, like super quick, man. Like
shorts
in a blink of an eye. Yeah, like in a blink of an eye. Like I remember watching your videos. I think the first time I watched your videos, you had like just under 10,000 subscribers, and then all of a sudden, I looked the other day and I'm like, 100,000 now? Holy shit!
Yep. I'm still working on the 100,000 videos, taking forever, but yes.
Nice. 100,000 subscriber, yeah.
No, that's amazing.
Yeah.
Stephen Box waves hello, another one of our members. And RJ Eagle says, TTG, a toy guy, are there any figures that initially at first you thought was total trash, but then a newer version of that figure came out that was even worse and made the original figure look good?
It's a bizarrely specific question.
That's an interesting
molds
twist.
or characters? I'd assume molds.
I think he means that video game Bumblebee.
He's like trying to make it very
Yeah, I'm like, who hurt you? What are you talking about?
yeah.
I don't think I can think of any where the mold wasn't great and then the new toy came out and it was even worse.
It's just almost like a trivia question. Like, can anybody think of something like that?
Well, the first thing that popped into my head was Gamer Bumblebee. But the first one was bad, and the second one was just okay, which means it was better than the first one. And then Cliff Jumper's come out, and I got him, and he's like fits the mold perfectly. I think Cliff Jumper's great, but I don't think so. I don't think anything has come out that I thought was bad. That got I guess like the only thing I could think of off the top of my head is the Siege Starscream mold. That's not a bad mold. That was a great mold. But Shattered Glass Starscream came out, and that was terrible.
Yeah.
That's the only thing that's popped up in my head, because that thing's yellowed. It's like mine's
that's why.
yellow on the floor over here.
That's so strange how these new figures are yellowing so fast. Like, what is
horrible, man?
I actually had my one of my good friends from high school. Her dad is the chemistry professor, the head of the chemistry department at the college I went to, and I talked to him about this, and it was all to do with humidity and moisture. So when COVID hit, manufacturing costs went up, and so did the cost of materials and plastic. So they had to lower the quality of the plastic to make the not make the products go up too much and meet the demand and blah blah blah. And so that cheaper material made stuff yellow, and they fixed it now. Like Wave 2 of Legacy is the last toy line to have any sort of yellowing in it with G-Axis. They fixed it, but that was what caused it, was they had to make the materials cheaper, and then the weather was changing so much, because weather's changing every year now, and the toys just couldn't handle it. So Shattered Glass Starscream is all just people's Kingdom, Cyclonus, Tigatron. Kingdom got it the worst.
So. I got a Tigatron here that turned crazy yellow. I'm vaguely contemplating, like, I wasn't going to go in on any of the fancy Takara versions, but I'm like, if I can get a version that won't yellow, maybe I'll go in for this guy,
Now, another thing about that is
that's crazy.
Usually, plastics are tied to molds, so they've changed that now with a lot of them. Like, I know, what's it called? Nova Prime doesn't yellow, even though the Siege Magnus mold did, because they changed the plastic. The Siege Seeker mold, this mold, the Siege Seeker mold, doesn't yellow anymore. But the Earthrise Soundwave mold, that still does yellow. However, I don't know if the new Takara one has changed the plastics or not, because it hasn't come out yet. But they didn't change the plastic when they did the Shattered Glass one, because that one also yellows.
Oh, I got very lucky. I think I have the only Netflix Soundwave that hasn't yellowed, knock on wood.
I got Shattered Glass Soundwave. He's immediately yellowed out of the box.
Wow.
Sunset Soundwave.
So Custom Media Creations on YouTube says yo. So yo, back to you. Thank you for watching, and for everyone that's watching and listening, please like the video and subscribe to all of our various channels, including that toy guy who has joined us this evening. RJ Eagle has another question. Also, I watched your video on The Last Night Hound needing a studio series, which I totally agree, even though that figure is still awesome. But are there any other figures that you think need a refresh?
Nitro Zeus. Give me a new Nitros. I'm begging for one of those.
I won't even transform mine. I won't even touch it.
Okay. So I'm one of the people who loves that original mold, and I like Thundercracker. That weird Thundercracker they did way back in the day is my favorite Studio Series toy ever. But it's not an accurate mold. There's a piece of concept art for Nitro Zeus out there that the mold is 100% accurate to, and then in the film he looks completely different. And I want one that's shorter, stockier, wider, different head, got the Christmas lights on the gun, his chains, his tattoos. I want a toy of that. And no, not even a third party has touched that yet, which is very weird to me, because he's like the most popular character from the last night, and they've done Hot Rod and they haven't done Nitro Zeus. It's just weird.
They'll get to it.
I want a new toy of him. He's one I want an upgrade for.
You'd think the
we were talking
makes like third parties and big statues and stuff would have done him by now, because they love their late era Michael Bay stuff.
Yeah, like we got this guy, but we didn't get Nitro Zeus. It was very weird.
Yeah,
he'll come. You'll see. He'll come
one day.
It just takes them a lot longer to realize, hey, these people across the pond want this, you know. But you know, we were talking about characters. Like throughout my whole childhood, my whole young adulthood, my favorite characters were always the tapes from Soundwave and Blaster. And a few years ago, when Mastermind Creation came out with these guys, like now I can't even look at those other guys because these guys are so good. It's so ridiculous. They're the tape, the exclusives that you can get at the cons. I got them all. I hunt them all down. But you know, after getting this in hand, and you know, just the posability that these guys can do, everything about them, you know, like I can't even look at the old tapes now. I've actually turned them all into tapes and like put them all in a box because I got these guys out and they just look so badass.
They do look cool. They feel really great. I've never owned one, but I held one once, and they're like really dense.
Really
heavy.
The Freakenstein. Those ones you put in a box, so you're not by any chance gonna like, you know, add like some firecrackers to them.
Oh, never. I only blow up non-transforming toys. I don't blow up transformer toys. It's a big joke because when I was a kid, any toy that came around that was like my cousins or friends or whatever, I would literally take out and blow them up with firecrackers, pretending my Transformers were killing them.
We're all horrified at this behavior, by the way. We do not endorse it.
Big pain.
Don't leave your toys at Freakenstein's.
No, especially if they're not Transformers.
Don't bring any bionicles. Got it.
Yeah, don't bring any bionicles.
Don't leave your bionicles with him.
Hey, you know what?
Pieces everywhere.
If I was doing it still to this day, I'm telling you, I'd have a hell of a lot more subscribers watching me blow up older toys that freaking they're dying to have.
You'd have a lot more weird comment too.
Yeah,
the people would be rolling in. Why are you doing this? Blah 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 blah. It's like
because I can.
Watch the video.
Yeah, you're watching the video.
Well, actually, I'm gonna quickly switch. So, Toy Guy, what's your views or feelings to wow, now I forgot the name of the characters, the little bobblehead guys we always make fun of.
Funko Pop.
Funko Pops, yes.
For a moment, you lived in a world where there wasn't Funko Pops.
Land waste. That's especially considering they took most of their overstock and literally made it land waste.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and then they had a bunch of people come into the garbage place and raid it and take all the Funko Pops and keep them. But
I hate when that happens. That's so bad. That's so bad.
Yeah, so Funko had to get rid of their overstock because they're losing money right now, and they can't sell all this stuff. And for some reason, a lot of companies like to take this stuff that they can't sell and not donate it, so they throw it away because it's tax write-off. So they took a whole shipment of it and just dumped it in front of, like, I think it was Arizona, in front of an Arizona, like, garbage place. And so a bunch of people showed up the day they were dumping it. After they dumped it, they showed up and took them all.
Go for it.
And either sold them off, kept them, or donated them themselves.
Well, they did that with G1 Megatron here in Canada. They buried all the stuff. Yeah,
he's illegal technically here.
Yeah, my aunt was working at Zeller's, right?
Yeah.
And all of a sudden they had to pull all the G1 Megatrons off the shelf because of frickin' not just the lead paint, but the new laws about having toys look like guns and stuff like that.
Was this in
so
the
they
80s?
were
Did this happen in the 80s you're talking about?
just before the 90s, yeah. So anyways, even like consumers, everybody, they were throwing away all their Transformer stuff, and I was like dumpster diving for like a month, freaking grabbing everything that I could, man.
Yep.
It was ridiculous.
You can still own a G1 Megatron here. You cannot sell him at retail.
Yeah.
Technically, at conventions, you're not supposed to sell it, but people do anyways.
Wow, really?
In Australia, it's worse. In Australia, he has to be displayed in a gun cabinet, locked away. They're gunless. So Australia had one mass shooting once, I believe, in like the 90s.
Yeah, because their laws are different.
Yeah, and as soon as that mass shooting happened, they banned guns. And so when they did that you also have to have a replica gun license. So you need a replica gun license, to own a G1 Megatron.
Wow.
You just get a kick out of the fact that you have to display him in a gun cabinet. So it's like, your display must go hard. This is the law.
Your display must be the most epic thing in the world.
Yeah.
So let's quickly catch up on the comments. Custom Media Creation says, I'm waiting for the Last Night Megatron to get a Studio Series figure. The old Voyager holds up great, but he needs his battle marks. Or battle mask.
Both, actually.
Yeah, and Custom Media Creations, I guess directing this to Freakenstein, saying that's cold in terms of blowing up characters. Also says I hate Funko Pops. And RJ Eagle, or actually just before before I get to RJ Eagle's statement, the reason I asked about Funko Pops and relate it to Freakenstein, I'm talking about blowing up characters with firecrackers. Like a few months ago, we kind of had this idea of like just doing a stream of just collecting a bunch of Funko Pops and then like beheading them like during the live stream.
What's in this head?
All it is
What's in this head?
a squeeze and they come right off.
The idea was
more
this
dramatic than that.
The idea is like one in a certain number of them. There's a secret inside of the head, and we're trying to find. Yeah, we're giving it stuff.
Yeah, they did do that, didn't they?
Yeah, but we scaled back
That's
on
right.
that. Just we didn't want to get the Funko Pop fans upset and just a whole rage of like hate comments and everything.
Why all the hate?
Plus, it's like, depending on how we source them, it's like, well, okay, but we also just bought a bunch of Funko Pops.
Well, I just got a Soundwave Funko Pop that was signed by what's his name there?
Frank Welker?
Yeah, and
don't blow that one.
That I have 3 Funko Pops now because my brother keeps buying me them, and it's like, what am I supposed to do with these things? Like, I can't display them with my other stuff. It doesn't look right.
I actually have to admit, I didn't realize this until like the other day. I have a Funko Pop on my desk at work, and I just didn't realize it. It's the, yeah, I know. It's the Audrey 2 plant from Little Shop of Horrors. It doesn't have any eyes, and it's not at all any reminiscent of a Funko Pop, but I actually do have a Funko Pop prominently on display.
It could happen to you.
It could happen to anyone.
Like 3, and they're in that cabinet there. They just live there because we won them in a contest, and they're just sitting in there.
Well,
we don't actually go buy them.
They're pervading society, like surreptitiously. They're getting into your collection, whether you want them there or not.
You know what? That's
they show up as man-eating plants. They show up as robots. You can't tell when it's going to be. It could be a tape recorder.
Well, it's like the G1 jump starters. Like they just somehow end up in everyone's collections, and it's like I have both of them. I have no idea how I acquired them, but they're just a part of the collection. But it's interesting. You're saying Funko Pops are just kind of like going down in terms of sales and everything. Because looking into it, like all these Funko Pops are like all these crazy expensive prices, but when I went to buy one, I think I only paid like $7 or $8, and like every single store has them now. Like Shoppers Drug Mart has them, and it's like they're just and it's the popular characters too. And I'm like, well, this isn't a $50 character. It's like $7-8. Anyone could buy them. Like, what's the prestige behind them?
I think it just goes down to like some of them are limited.
Right.
Like there's clear ones and all this other stuff. Like what you'd see with a limited edition Transformer. They have the same type of thing for Funkos.
Yeah.
Where they make less of a certain character, so there's less of them out there. Excuse me. But I think it just has to do with like people still clinging on to that trend that lasted for a few years when Funkos came out.
Beanie Babies.
Yeah, like the sort of like same thing as like Beanie Babies. It's just that fad that people still think exists, and so they believe that they can sell X item for a certain amount of money online, and then as soon as it gets bought for that much, you've then set the value for it. So like if you buy Funko Obi-Wan, I don't know, and for $7, you keep it for 4 months. His shelf life is over. You put it on eBay for $60, and it sells. Now everyone else is going to list him at 60, even though he's not worth 60.
Exactly.
Everyone's gonna, and it's just Funkos are notorious for that.
Yeah.
Okay, so speaking of stuff that never happens, I did a review on this guy. If you can see, it's Mirage, right? Hey. And when I got the box,
check it out at FREAKENSTEIN.
When I got the box, this part right here was ripped all the way across, and I sent pictures into Hasbro, and I'm thinking, oh, this is going to be the same issue that I always have when I buy stuff from Hasbro. They're never going to get back to me. They're never going to do anything. This came in the mail unexpectedly. I didn't even look at my emails, but like they gave me a brand new one, and it's like, okay, that's something I can give away.
Yeah. Hasbro sent you something for that's really cool.
It happened to you, right? With the shoulder. I was just watching that.
That never freaking happens, right? Like never.
Not with Hasbro.
Like they're usually like, oh, we'll send you a new box, or we'll send you that piece or whatever, right? They don't send you the actual whole thing all over again.
And a piece, like say you lost a missile, like you'd be hard pressed to get that from Hasbro.
Yeah, exactly.
Hasbro doesn't do replacement parts, from what I understand. Like, because I've talked to the customer service reps before. They will try to send you, because they do this for me whenever I have problems, anything of equal value or the item that you broke. So for my Mirage, because he had that weird brown shoulder, because one of the parts like burnt out of the box or whatever, I contacted them. I sent them a picture of it, and they said, we don't have any on hand at the moment. We'll send you something of equal value, and they gave me a legacy dead end. So like they'll send you random things or whatever. I had when my Shattered Glass Star Screen was yellowed, I sent them images of them like, hey, this yellowed. What can I do about it? They sent me 86 Snarl.
Whoa!
Entire 86 Snarl. My gamer Bumblebee
should complain more often.
They sent me Tarn.
Yeah, you never know.
Wait, they sent you a Tarn, the one that nobody can get?
What's funny is I got the Tarn. I was like, oh my god, I've never seen this before in person. Yeah. I went to Walmart the next week, and they had restocked Tarn. So there was 8 of him on the shelf.
It's really funny, like, oh, guy's missing a sword. Here, have a rare thing nobody can find for free.
Yeah, so it's anytime you have a problem, just go to the Hasbro customer service site and contact them. They'll send you something for free.
Wow. It's funny because I've called them millions of times, and they just ignore me.
I find,
they know you. Well, they know you.
Using the website's built-in email thing is the best way to get a hold of them.
Yeah.
And they always answer on the website. So they never email you. You got to go on the website, go on your account, and then the answer's there.
Oh, yeah.
But that's the best place to do. Because if I call them, they probably wouldn't pick up. They won't, because they get so many calls a day, right? But doing the email thing, that always works.
They know FREAKENSTEIN. They're like, yeah, you're that kid that was like blowing stuff again. Yeah, we're not dealing with you. But it's but as you said, in terms of them, you complain about one figure and they send something else. That's been the common thing I've seen a lot of people complain about, because there's certain figures they really want, and either it came damaged or it didn't come at all or something, and they complain to Hasbro. They send them a completely different figure, and I'm like, this isn't what I wanted. It's okay, but I still want that figure I wanted.
Right.
Okay, so you guys remember that Galvatron for the Unicron that they did, the purple clear plastic Galvatron?
Yeah.
So I open up my box, and he's missing his cannon, and he's missing all those little dudes that you can put on Unicron. And I'm like, what the hell? So I email them, nothing for a week. So that's when I got fed up and I just started calling until they answered. And I was like, yo, I'm missing all these pieces to my thing. What are you guys going to do about it? Oh, well, send it back and we'll refund you your money. I'm like, no. What are you going to do about it?
Customer service.
And they're like, oh, well, we'll get someone to call you back. A month goes by, no call back. So what do? I call them back. I'm like, I've been waiting for a phone call. Well, there's nothing in your file saying someone's going to call you back. I'm like, I got a file? And they're like, well, yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's there you go. They have a file on you. That's why.
And I was like, right then and there, I knew they were like, we're sick of this guy. I was like, all right, I see how it is. I'm not giving you back this character because who knows when I'll ever get him again. You know what I mean? Big deal. He's missing a cannon. I'll steal one off the other Galvatron and put it on him. Didn't matter. But like, I was so pissed off that those little dudes didn't come with it.
See, when you described it, I'm like, are you sure you called Hasbro like the cell phone company? Because, you know, it's just like, you know, that they'll give the same excuse and it's like, yeah, we'll put your note on, we'll put the, you know, your complaint on file and everything, and then you call back next time and be like, yeah, so what about my complaint from the last time? And like, oh, the last person didn't add it in, so please refresh us with your complaint. And I'm like,
yeah. So I believe what Hasbro does is they outsource, because every company outsources their customer service. Yeah. So it's a different company, and they have their own little tiny warehouse. And that little tiny warehouse gets a certain amount of toys in to give out as replacements. So, and they're not always the most up-to-date ones. Like, I'm surprised you got Mirage, honestly. But they're usually not up-to-date. So, for example, if my Frankentron here had a problem, I would contact them. They would send me a Voyager of something because it's equal value. But they don't have any Frankentrons on hand. Because so the stock's always going to be different from what you see on, like, Pulse, because they have their own warehouse of their own stuff. And it's usually stuff from like the last wave. So that's why you always get, like, I got Dead End for my Mirage, because they didn't have any Mirages on hand and they want to solve the problem as quickly as possible. So they'd send you whatever they had, so that makes you happy. Because I was happy. I was like, cool, I'll take this to the local shop and trade it for something I want. So
what do you think of Frankentron?
I like this thing a lot. I think he's great.
So we had a discussion last week about Frankentron, and my thing was this: why did they pick this mold? Why didn't they use like Echo 1 and turn him into a hearse?
Because Ecto 1, the tooling is owned by the company who owns Ghostbusters. And so that's why you never see like crossover molds that are made specifically for crossovers being used for other things, because they're by contract, they're owned by the production company who commissioned it. Right. This mold is Hasbro's, but Universal owns this chest, these hands, this weapon, this head. So they can't use those for anything else ever again. That's why, like, they wouldn't have used the Ecto 1, because the Ecto 1 would have been great if he was like a hearse, like you said. But yeah, it's someone else owns that tooling. You watch now, a third-party company out there is going to do it. Oh, probably. And I thought for this guy, the Megatron Dragon mold would have been better than the Bat mold on this thing. You know, the what is it, a leader class Megatron? Yeah, I can see that. Got him. The actual dragon, because Dracula he's the Order of the Dragon, right? Like, that's his clan, his dragon. It doesn't always have to. That's him right there. You got him. Yeah.
But will people look at this and go, "Hey, Universal Monsters, Bela Lugosi, Dracula"? Because that's who they paid money for the license for. But that looks. I'm sorry, but that looks like something straight out of Godzilla. So why wouldn't it be in that monster era? Maybe like a Rodan or whatever the name is, right? Oh my God! They should retool this guy into a collaborative Rodan. No, not Rodan. Ghidorah, the three-headed one. Yeah, they should just really add two more heads.
Just get Dragonstorm. There you go.
Oh yeah.
Don't do Dragonstorm, please. Don't do that. That thing is awful. Don't do that. No. Going back to Frankenstein, though, I want to tell you something. There's a fun fact about Frankenstein and evac. So you know the ride has evac. Yeah. So anytime Hasbro does retools with new heads, the new head is already created and is on the sprue. So when they make it, the head already exists. They just don't put it on. They put it back in the melting pot and make new toys out of it. But when they were doing the prototype for evac, Joseph Kide, who worked on evac, slipped in a Frankenstein head on the tooling, And on the original map of assembly for the prototype that was the factory got, he made sure to put the Frankenstein head on that map just to mess with Mark, the current legacy designer. Mark was the model painter at the time. And so Mark got the evac and was like, why the hell is there a Frankenstein head on this toy? And he goes to Joseph and is like, what's Frankenstein doing here? And Joseph just laughed at him. But he painted that prototype completely, and it exists. Mark has it. There's a prototype of evac with a Frankenstein head on it.
Because evac would also be Universal Studios, because that's where the ride is.
Yep.
That connection just happened.
Yep. So there's one that exists with Frankenstein head on it.
Very cool. Very cool.
Have we ever seen it, or have we just heard of it? Because I'm interested in what that would
Mark's
look like.
never posted a picture of it.
Oh, dang.
Yeah.
So to catch up on some of the comments,
you
Anthony
get
saying,
the obscure trivia here on Children of Primus.
That's obscure, obscure.
So it says, Anthony, I'm waiting for the Cryotech repaint of Dragon Megs.
So is everybody who lived through the Beast Wars era. If anybody doesn't know, there was a blue version of this guy called Cryotech. He was like a later RID-01 release, but everybody thinks this guy looks great in blue, so everybody wants them to do the new one in those colors. People are just assuming they're just sitting on it until they have space in Generation Selects or whatever for another leader. You're going to see him in blue, mark my words, eventually. Everybody wants to see the blue version.
I bet they'll change the head slightly and then just...
Yeah. Well, I heard people speculate. We know that it was actually because the sculpt was a bit weird, but the robot mode of this kind of has a face that doesn't look a lot like Beast Wars Megatron. I heard some people have speculated it's because it was made more so done with Cryotech in mind. I mean, it might be complete. This is people looking at it and going, maybe. That's not a fact.
Yeah, there's just nothing. I don't think we'll find out until they make Cryotech, and then the designer's notes will come out on Instagram, and they'll be like, this is why his face looked like this.
I love that we're in an era where the people that design the toys will just post about them on Instagram and be like, this is what we were thinking. This is what we're doing. It's great.
Yeah, it's amazing.
And they're super great people. I've spoken to a couple of them, just on Instagram. They're great. They'll just share it. You'll ask them a question. They'll be like, oh yeah, here's what you did. Like when I asked Sam, the Studio Series guy, about Mirage, I'm like, why are the doors there? He's just like, here's why, and gave me a whole paragraph as to why the doors are the way they are. I was like, oh, that's I didn't know that. Now I do. That's cool.
So yeah, anybody out there wants to know why a thing on a mainline figure is like that, go find the Instagram post about it, and maybe the answer is there.
We can't do that with third-party stuff. With fans toy stuff, where we are left in the dark.
Especially with fans toy stuff.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm told fans toys is really difficult to work with.
Oh, I owned their hot rod. I had their Galvatron loaned to me. Both of them were like the most miserly transformations I've ever encountered in my life.
That Galvatron is one of the greatest figures to own. It is it is an amazing gem.
Yeah.
I disagree trying to get it into its canon mode and spending like 45 minutes on it. I don't know if
me with any unique product.
Yeah. I will say, it felt dangerous to handle because there was so much metal in it. It was so heavy. I was like, you could drop this on somebody and they would probably die. That's the level of...
Even this little car is like that. Like, I hit somebody with this car. This is a piece of metal right here.
Yeah.
But,
See, my problems with fans toys are that everything's painted, and so I feel like I'm going to chip something.
So that's exactly what I'm doing right now. I'm like, as I'm handling this, I'm like being very careful because I got this shiny paint here. I don't want to scratch on it.
Yeah, it's always like ugh, when you're touching them, and then they're creaky because they're part of the camp that thinks a tight joint means quality control, and that's not the case, right? It's a good joint, not tight. So everything's overly tight, and it just squeaks and creaks, and they're really expensive. And I've also heard that the company itself is not very good to work with. Like when a store, for example, sends something over a third party, and they're like, "You pick what you want, and then we'll let you know if that's cool or not." And then I'm told, "Don't pick fans toys because they're just weird." And so I'm like, "Oh, okay, that's great, that's fantastic."
Yeah, but it is the case, like with all these with all companies, is that well, I shouldn't say with all companies. It is the case with fans toys that there is some communication with them, and you have to recognize that this is like you know, a semi-legal thing that they're doing, right? So it's a small company, it's semi-legal, they have to sort of fly under the radar. So that's one of the reasons why they can't be so upfront and, you know, in communication with the audience as otherwise they might like to be. Just a little bit of Fans Toys defense here.
I just want to say there were a lot of things wrong with their hot rod that I had. I managed to not have that paint chip, even though everybody else did. Somehow I got lucky. A pity about the rest of it, but
didn't Warpath's knees like snap in half or something from Fans Toys?
Yes. And I have my Fans Toys Warpath unopened in the box, so I have no idea if the knees will snap when I open up the box or not.
That's an expensive lemon.
Yeah.
Very. That's another reason why I'm very skeptical with certain third-party things, because with a Hasbro mainline, you know what to expect, and then you know that if it's broken, I can just contact them. They'll send me something for free. Where it comes to like third party, like if this had arrived broken, I'd have to contact the store and then hope that they can get a hold of Metagate to get a piece to fix it. Like it's very hope.
You know. And that, you know what's worse about that? It's not just that the companies aren't responsive. It's that, think about when years pass. So like, if like, for instance, Fans Toys, when their Dinobots were new, the knee clip on Swoop was snapping. And so early on, you might still be able to get that part. But that was only when they were doing the run, and that was very early on. So a lot of stuff, if you bought something a couple of years ago and you didn't get around to opening it, well now, like for instance, when the knees on Warpath were snapping, they did replace those for people, but that was then at the time, right? So now they don't have any replacement. So if you sat on it like mine, if you have a bunch of unopened boxes, you open that box today. Even if I contact Fans Toys, they don't have any parts for that, right?
Right.
So I'm SOL no matter what. Even if I'm buddies with what's his name on on TF, whatever the page that they're on.
me with Commander Stars' fingers.
Yeah.
They all fell off, and I just kind of went, oh, forget it.
Yeah, no, exactly. There's a risk. There's an inbuilt risk with all of this stuff, right?
Yeah, his shoulder ratchets are broken, his hip ratchets are broken, his fingers are broken.
I always refer to it in my writings as the quality control roulette.
Yeah, his butt's paint chipped. I don't know how that happened. Like,
don't.
His torso ratchet's broken. My camera's out of focus. Hello, there we go. It's just not. No, that's not great. I will have any excuse to bash on that thing because it's funny. They fixed the new one apparently, but that's
Oh, yeah.
Too late for that.
Yeah. It's unfortunate because I like that Cybertron Prime design, and then I pre-ordered that thing when they announced it like 6 years ago, and then I canceled my pre-order.
That's the same one, eh?
Yeah, I canceled my pre-order because I couldn't afford it at the time it was going to come out because I had other things I needed to pay for, like my car. His exhaust shielding fell off, so I had to go pay to fix that. And then TF Safari was like, "Hey, we'll send you one." I was like, "Oh, cool, sure." And I got it, and it was miserable when I opened the box because I opened the box and immediately a finger fell off. I was like, "That's fantastic." Oh man.
Well,
and then it got worse.
Actually, I guess to throw a question to you, now that being in the realm of having manufacturers or toy stores and everything sending you figures to do reviews. What are your feelings of, what are your feelings, or I guess within the relationship of like, hey, it's cool, this toy store sent me this character, but as soon as I open it, I'm doing a review, it's falling apart. Like, do you feel bad in terms of it, or it's just like, it is what it is?
So I usually have store. The only manufacturer that sent me anything is RoboSen.
Okay.
So usually when it's like a store, and again, I'm going to use TF Safari for an example, they don't care whether or not I give it a good or bad review.
Okay.
Their whole thing is if you plug the store in the thing, put your discount code, the extremely small discount code, so you put the discount code in there and everything, we're cool. That brings people to the site. That's it. You can say whatever you want about the product. And so usually when it's like, because this, spoiler alert, I like it a lot, and I'm going to be saying that I like it in the video, but If I didn't, like with Commander Stars, I'd say just buy something else from there. Don't buy this. That's what I'll do. But if someone doesn't like the fact that I don't like their product, then I would probably be like, okay, then I'm just gonna send it back, because I don't want to give something disingenuous. Or I would suggest a showcase instead of a review. Show people what the product is rather than give them my thoughts on it. Because that was one of the things with RoboSen. I was like, hey, can I say I don't like this if I don't like it? And they were like, sure. And then I'm like, okay, don't really like Optimus Prime that much.
Yeah.
So they were okay with that. But yeah, that's one thing I would say is if you ever get someone to send you something like this, make sure they are okay with you hammering it in a video if you don't like it. Not physically, but like with words. Don't blow them up with firecrackers. Don't do that.
Well, RJ Eo has a question for you. So also another question for TTG. How do you decide on what figures to review? Newer figures as soon as they come in, a mix of nostalgia figures and newer ones, just random figures? Every episode is different.
Yeah, your most recent one was Revenge of the Fallen Wheelie, of all things.
Yeah. Wow.
So it's a mix of a lot of different things. So if it's a new product, like the Reactivate toys, for example, they come out on the 15th here, I believe. As soon as I get them, I'm going to start working on their video, and that's going to come out like a few days later because I need some time to like mess with them and all that. So new stuff is usually immediate. Some things, again, Franklytron, I'm probably not going to make a video on this. I just bought it because I wanted it. But he's cool. You should buy one. And then right now there's like a lull of, there's nothing new in November. November has had no new releases. So when that comes, then I'll do older stuff. Like I did Wheelie, I did Hound, Silverbolt from Beast Wars. I wanted to do a video on this, but I don't think I will. This Subaru Impreza, that's gonna get a video. This is like how old? It's like over 10 years old now. I always forget what order the arms fold in, and I got tired one day and just gave up, and I haven't folded them back in yet. So you just constantly like this.
So when you get a product, you open it up and mess around with it for a few days before you do your video, right?
I usually get it, open it, and mess around with it exclusively just it for like a day to a day and a half, which in my mind anyways equates to like a few days of messing with it off and on. So like with this drift, for example, I got it a couple days ago, and I've only been messing with it specifically for the last, like I'll pick something else up and mess with it if I'm bored, but like when I sit down at my desk, I do whatever work I need to do, and then I'm like, oh, I want to mess with a figure, I pick this one up.
See, I'm the worst with Hasbro, because when I do my videos, I open them up right in front, and I take out the instructions, and I do them by the instructions right in front of everybody. And when it's Hasbro, every single time something falls apart, or breaks or whatever in the video, and I'm like, man, I wish I would have took this and played with it before I even touched it. But then it's like, you know what? These people need to see this. They need to see what they're getting their hands on. You know, like I got over 3,000 Transformers. D's got like 3,000 Transformers. Magnus has probably got like 3,000 Transformers. Fierce got probably 3,000 Transformers.
Oh, God,
and you know, no?
Magnus has about 280,000 Transformers.
Yeah. But like, you know what I mean?
I did a count like last year. It was in the triples, not the quadruples.
So like, when every time I open up one of these Hasbro things, I get very angry as soon as something falls apart, because like I'm not used to this. Like I do a lot of third party and KO and oversized stuff, right? So like I'm used to playing with stuff that has weight to it and pin joints and all this kind of stuff. And man, ask these guys. I get on Hasbro all the time about not having pin joints and all these stupid little mushroom pegs and all this stuff like this, and it don't work for me. Like, if I'm going to buy a toy for $20, and as soon as I take it out of the package, things are falling off of it, that's a bad sign. So I just let it go and let the Hasbro have it. So they probably don't like me too much.
See, I'm the opposite.
They have a file on you.
I've heard they have a file on you, yeah.
Yeah.
See, I'm the opposite. I prefer mushroom pegs and all that, because if something gets loose over time, easy fix. Pop it off, put some pledge on it, pop it back in, call it a day.
That's
Hinges and rivets are so annoying to try and fix when they're loose. This guy he's got loose hips, and they're pinned, and that's pain. So I can't fix them.
There's a lot of forums online that could tell you how to fix certain things, and a lot of them.
There are ways to fix them. It's just I either don't have the tools, or I don't have the time, or I don't have just the steadiest of hands to do the because a rivet you got to melt it to take it out. It's the whole thing.
Sometimes,
yeah. And I just don't want to do that.
So, RJ Eagle also has a question for you. Says, also, are you a big Binaltech alternators fan in terms of oldies?
I like some of them. Hey, Silver I put his arms in. Silver Impressive.
I saw you hold them up earlier. That's why I went and grabbed them.
Yeah.
And here we got some alternators love going on.
I got rid of most of mine because, excuse me, one of my best friends, he's a car lover. Like, he owns a Honda S2000. He loves cars. And he wanted them more than I did. So I was like, cool, you can have the GT, you can have the Honda S2000, whatever. I bought this one because this is my car, sort of. I have an Impreza, so.
Nice.
But
cool.
They're cool toys, but I wouldn't start collecting an entire shelf of them personally.
Right.
Well, Masterpiece sort of outdated them.
Yeah, Masterpiece is what I've moved towards more so than this stuff.
Yeah.
So
yeah, but they were cool for their time. Binaltech was amazing for its time.
This is an important evolutionary step.
They are, and it's funny you guys are playing with Binaltech because I have like the step after that, which is the alternity. Well, in Japan they had in the West they had alternators, and in Japan they had Binaltech. Right.
Yes, and then Binaltech had die-cast in it, and alternators did not have die-cast in it. That was the difference.
Exactly.
Right.
His
So
door
which one you got there?
Properly.
Deceptikitty, which one you got there?
Oh, so this is still that alternity star screen. I'm just working.
Oh,
on
the car that
okay,
looks
yeah.
Yes. Yeah,
I forget what it's called, but I know what you're talking about.
Mitsuoko Orochi.
Orochi, that's it.
You're gonna forget it in 5 minutes.
For that whole line, for the whole Binaltech line, like this mold in particular, the Bob mode looks almost as good as the Masterpiece. But with most of the other ones, the Bob modes don't look great. That was the problem, especially with the Optimus Prime. A bunch of them, the Bob modes were trashy.
Wearing his Optimus.
They were getting there. That was like the transition phase between old school and Masterpiece. Like they
were. I mean, the Hound is pretty good, right?
The Hound was really nice.
Yes.
Yeah.
Actually, Aaron Archer, the guy who did all this stuff, he has a podcast now where he sits down and he just talks about what he was doing at the time. And so he has an entire episode, I think it's like an hour or 2 hours and something, on the history of alternators, how they came up with a name, which was apparently just a random car part they picked that sounded cool. So they're like, the alternator, sure, we'll call it that. Talks about the wave planning, talks about the decisions they made, the licensing, why Porsche didn't like it, blah, blah, blah. So there's a whole thing on that.
It's funny you brought up Aaron Archer because he's going to be on our show soon too.
We're working on it.
Yeah, I've met him before. He's really nice. I bought one of his pieces of art. I guess it is. It's a piece of paper with all the toys that he's designed that he really likes on it, and then he signed it. I have one of those.
Oh, that's great.
I've been doing this thing lately on his Instagram, I think, where he takes the instruction sheets that came with older figures and draws art over top of the instructions.
They're really cool. I saw them in person. They're sick.
Yeah.
So sick.
It's like, here's Armada Optimus Prime's instructions, and here's a sort of graffiti-looking illustration of Optimus Prime's head over those instructions that I drew on top of them.
Yeah, he won't do the new ones simply because the color, the inks that he used doesn't react well to the new paper that they use, so he won't do them.
Because the old ones were glossy instead of
and the new ones are like paper as opposed to laminate, so the ink he uses will just bleed through the laminate, through the paper that they use now, so he won't do new ones. But the old stuff, it's really cool. It's very expensive, but it is worth it.
So Stephen Bach on YouTube says, I had alternators Silver Streak, Sideswipe, and Hound. They were a big reason I got into Siege, where they were all in a toy line together.
And here's the Sideswipe that he's talking about. And the best thing about this Sideswipe is...
Love that He-Man.
Yeah, exactly. He-Man's
Mega Bloks
driving.
He-Man?
Yeah, so all the Mega Bloks characters fit in here. So any kind of Mega Bloks guy, you can put him in your alternators and have him drive.
That's pretty cool.
Sit him next to your KISS players. He-Man.
Wait, no,
Yeah.
Lego minifigures. You won't have a Lego figure.
Touche.
Hey.
Yeah, RJ Eagle says, I love the Dead End and Sunstreaker mold too. It's sick.
Yeah.
All right, before we go on, I gotta ask: can you pull out some of them pieces of that Optimus Prime you're building?
Yeah, because they live on the couch. Here's his leg. They're, by the way, I don't know if any of you know, but I did not get the left ankle, and they're sending me the left ankle, so that's good. But here it is, next to a deluxe. There you go. Foot.
Wow.
Whoa.
Wow.
And let me get the. This is heavy. Let me get the arms.
Yeah, well, thank you, Freakenstein, for mentioning that, because I almost
Yeah.
overlooked. Yeah, what is the I guess the story and the concept behind? Because I've seen some of your videos as you're assembling them. Tell us more about that.
Okay,
That's so
hold
crazy.
that up. Hold that up. I gotta see that
Heavy ass
Because-
arm.
because that
Warpath.
looks the same size as Lewin Resources.
Yeah.
Wow. No, that's bigger than Lewin Resources, bro.
You think?
That's bigger. Yeah.
So what
There
is
you
the
go.
context here?
Yeah.
There's this giant subscription service model kit of
Oh,
this
yeah.
Optimus Prime. It's a G1 styled Optimus Prime, and you get the box once a month in the mail, and they send you a pack of parts. It's
Wow.
over there, but there's the box is like, it's about the size of one of those like boxes of cookies you would get from like a bakery, and
Okay.
you get parts in it. You put it together and send it to you once a month. I think it's like $100-something bucks, because all the red parts you see here are die cast. It's all metal.
Yeah.
Everything's
Wow.
metal. The
Holy.
joint right here is completely like metal on the inside of that.
Oh, wow.
And it's going to, I believe it's gonna finish in July next year.
It's 100.
Yeah.
You're saying $100. You mean $100 per box?
Per box,
Yeah.
yeah. It's
Per
gonna be
box,
over
yes.
I think
A grand?
almost $2,000 once it's finished.
Almost,
Whoa!
yeah.
I just shook my whole desk.
Wow.
But it's
So I
also
got a
going to be the
question about
size
that.
of my 10-year-old cousin. So
Yeah.
Wow.
yeah.
Wow.
So I got a question about this. So I've been looking everywhere and I haven't seen it, but does it transform or is
No.
it just going to
No,
be?
no,
I didn't
no.
think so.
Just yeah. It would be cool, but it's too big to transform. It's
So
too intricate on the inside in order for them to do that.
is this something you're going to actually keep when you're done, or is it something too big for your collection?
I mean, it's already
One
too big.
scale.
This arm is too big for my collection, but I'll
Yeah.
probably keep it for a little bit. I just don't know where to put it.
Right.
Yeah, it's bigger than a combiner.
On
The
your
fu-
couch, seated like a person,
Honestly,
Yeah,
I might,
but-
there's a couch right here. I might just sit him
just
on there.
just like this.
Yep. Just
I mean, you
just
No,
can
what
do
you
that.
need to do. Wait a minute! I got the perfect thing. What you need to do is find one of them My Little Pony rocking chairs for little toddlers and stick them on there. That's what you need to do. Seriously.
I was thinking just a nice high chair, for a toddler. Just
I have
put him
my
on
old
that.
rocking horse in a closet somewhere from when I was 2. I could probably just
There
stick
you
him
go.
on that.
Right.
There you
Just have
go.
him in the
Hey,
corner.
paint them pink and put the
No,
My
put him
Little
in a
Pony.
Power Wheels. Put him in a Power Wheels car.
Mm-hmm.
Have
That
them
would
ride
make
around.
sense.
Have them ride around on the Optimus Prime Robeson trailer.
Pow, pow,
I don't have
Power
the
Wheels,
trailer.
Pow, pow, Power Wheels, Power Wheels, Power
So
Wheels.
RJ
What
Eagle
about
says, "Dang, is that a 1-to-1 scale Optimus Prime there? Whoa."
Right.
1-to-1. That would
Oh,
be.
you know what
Yeah,
else?
that
You know
toy
what
guy
else?
is actually secretly huge. The scale's just way
I
off.
mean, I'm 6'3".
No, you know what else you can do with that arm? If you want to just buy the box with that arm for $100, you then stick it on the side of a building and you replicate that one episode where Prime's arm was on the side of the building shooting at the Autobots.
City of Steel.
Yep.
So I take it you're not going to be getting the Lewin Resources Metroplex set, since that thing's like 4 feet tall and I think they said it was like 38 pounds.
Yeah, I'm not the biggest Metroplex guy. G1 Metroplex guy anyways, so I probably wouldn't have got it even if I didn't have that thing. If it's like Cybertron Metroplex, I'm all over. But G1 Metroplex, I find his design looks a bit strange to me, so I wouldn't go for it. That thing is going to be ridiculously expensive, so it's...
What about the Magic Square Metroplex that just came out for $100? Are you getting that one?
No. I don't like Magic Square's plastic use, because they use like a palm PVC mix and nylon, because
I've been saying that.
the way that their engineering works is it's extremely complicated, so they have to be made out of durable materials in order to work. I just don't like the way that material feels in hand, so I just don't like their products usually.
Okay, but to me, that I think that's a cop out, because here's New Age, and they're doing the same thing, same scales, and they got way better plastic, way better everything, in my opinion.
Well, yeah, because New Age, New Age has been in the game a lot longer, so they've been able to like iron out the kinks and come up with really good stuff. Like the only New Age toy that's horrible is their Magnus. Don't buy their Magnus. Anything else is great, but New Age, their engineering is a lot more refined and less sort of cluttered, because Magic Square wants that absolute must-have immediate tune accuracy, whereas New Age is like, we'll get there, but if there's something that has to give, we'll let it give, and that helps with the engineering, which then means their plastic doesn't have to be nylon. It can be something else. And so I like New Age a little bit more than Magic Square when it comes to those things. But New Age is also expensive, so I don't touch it often.
Exactly one thing, and it's their hubcap, because I'm a hubcap liker. So.
Oh, that thing's tiny.
Yeah, it's the size of it's smaller than like a legend. What do I have here? It's a little bigger than you think. Here's a Siege Micromaster, and it's actually a bit taller than that.
Lord.
Yeah.
But because of all the details, it gives the impression of smallness. But yeah.
My friend got the Bumblebee Cliffjumper 2-pack, and I told him, you're going to walk past that one day and breathe in, and they're going to disappear.
Right.
Well, the gun, which you probably can't even see that's in his hand, that I'm going to breathe in, and it's going to disappear. That is roughly the same size as that little gray Optimus from the Centurion set, and like the Unicron pack Rice.
Oh my god.
Exact same size.
I already lost his gun.
Is that the New Age or the Magic Square?
This is New Age.
Okay, I have the Magic Square one, and it's
This one's beautiful, man. I love this one. Like,
it looks nice. See, it looks simple at the bottom there. The Magic Square one is just all panels and weird limb arrangements.
And that's what I don't like about Magic Square, is all this panel stuff. And not only that, but you got all these pieces that you have to pull out and push up and push back in, and it's like, no, that's gonna break over time, no problem.
Here's an interesting comparison. Take a look at this, Ben.
Really like that brawn.
Nice, yeah.
Yeah, so you got New Age over here, and you got Magic Square here. So you do get this extreme cleanliness with the Magic Square, right? To give them their props. Like, the cleanliness of the design is better on Magic Square. You see more joints on the New Age. But you do get that better engineering and the better plastic, exactly what the toy guy was saying. So there is a trade-off, but overall, I'm in the this camp with the New Age. But Magic Square, these are great figures too.
So let me catch up on the comments, and then I have a couple questions. Before we wrap up, because we usually try to end about 10 p.m. So RJ Eagle has says, D, that's a great idea with the Mega Blocks figure riding the side swipe. Gotta go with that. And
but now I got a better idea. I'm going to get the New Age Brawn riding the side swipe.
There you go.
Look at that.
There you go. And then RJ Eagle says that Stephen Bach, those are some great alternators. I'm still a fan. Our Charlie C, also one of our members, says Magic Square looks better in my opinion. And Shiba Kobe says, sup gang. Hey, nice to see you once again. And also says, I got me a Legacy Evolution Blitzwing recently.
Oh, nice. I like that figure. I like that a lot.
Yep.
Cool. So a question I have for you in terms of Transformer media, which one has been your favorite, I guess, in which between G1, G2, or Beast Wars, or in the comics, like which ones have you been more connected to?
Well, I grew up on the Bay films, and my first piece of Transformers media was the '86 movie. Because my parents got me the anniversary DVD once, because they're like, oh, that's a kid's movie, and then the guy goes, oh shit, in the movie, and they're like, what? But that was my first introduction to media. Then I watched Beast Wars reruns, and then Energon. But the thing that
what a roller coaster.
Yeah,
continue.
The things that I stuck with the most were the films.
No, I mean, he started out with the most beautiful thing, like a G1 sideswipe, and then fast forward, smack to the worst possible thing. It's Bayverse. And then he just bounces around with some stuff that's
I love the Bayverse. Bayverse is great. And but my favorite Transformers media is Prime. I'm a huge Prime fan.
Prime
Yeah,
is
Transformers.
I know the story can sometimes be a bit weak, but that's the case with like anything. And the animation on the humans looks really, really creepy. But everything else about it, love it. Love the way they did Nemesis Prime. Love the relic hunting stuff. Love the way they did Dreadwing until they killed him for no reason.
Yes.
Well, they killed him because they couldn't afford Tony Todd anymore, so they had to get rid of his character. Instead of writing him out, they just shot him in the chest. I love the way they handled Breakdown and Bulkhead's relationship and Knockout at the end. Like, it was just, I liked that show. It was great. I know the trend right now seems to be to hate on Prime for no reason, but I liked it.
Yeah, I've noticed that too, and I'm like,
well, it's switched to RID now, RID 15. Even though RID 15, if you detach it from Prime, it's an okay show.
I'm surprised there's been hate towards Prime, because I've seen, like, myself growing up in the G1 era, like, G1's my number one. I put Prime, like, right beside it in terms of just the concept, the storylines, and everything. But I've seen a lot of people say they actually preferred Prime over, like, any of the other cartoon medias as well.
Yeah.
See, I haven't even got to Prime yet. I'm still working on damn Beast Wars.
Beast Wars was great too. I watched that in high school in my computer science class, because we would finish and then we would still have like 30 minutes left, so I'd watch an episode a day, and I got through the entire Beast Wars cartoon in my computer science class.
Claim it's educational because of the CGI. There you go.
Yeah, but it's a little bit harder for me because I was G1 right up to even past the Bay movies. I never watched nothing, like, you know what I mean? Like, I didn't even buy anything at all from the Bay movies until like 2 years ago. You know, like, I was stuck in G1 mode, and I didn't even want to watch these stuff. When I seen Beast Wars back when it first started, I watched maybe about 5 minutes of it. I'm like, this ain't Transformers, and I shut it off, and I never even gave it a second thought. And then, you know, the Beast Wars Rise of the Beast movies come in, and I started this channel. I'm like, shit, now I got to get these characters.
I mean, there's a lot of bangers you're gonna find out about if you start breaking into more and more. Like, God, the off season of movies produces such amazing toys. It's great.
I probably would have liked Rise of the Beast a lot better if I didn't watch Beast Wars, because I found throughout the whole movie they're talking about stuff and referencing stuff, and no one else is gonna get it unless they watch that. You know what I mean? And it's like you're trying to introduce this to a whole new generation of people now, right? You're trying to get this new generation of 10-year-olds to come and watch this movie because their parents, you know, grew up with Beast Wars and they love Beast Wars. Now you want to get their kids involved, and then there's all these references. And I bet you every one of them kids went back and said, "What do they mean by this, Dad?" You know what I mean? Our mom, or whatever the case may be. And I was like, okay. If they would explain a little bit more, I would have been happier. But in a movie with the title Rise of the Beast, I think it should have been 90% about the beast, not about everything else.
Yeah, I think
Not
Paramount was
not about the crossover with G.I. Joe.
Yeah.
I think Paramount was just more so on the fence of, we can make it all about beasts, but will it sell? So they made it.
I was impressed at how much Beast Wars actually made it into that movie. As a fan, I was expecting less, but they managed to find a decent way to import the concept into the movie verse and make it make sense, because it's still a small group of people stuck in an unfamiliar place with an inexperienced leader.
Okay, but why couldn't they throw it this way then? You only got a few Autobots on the planet right now, and you got a few beasts. So why didn't you have them kidnap Optimus Prime or some shit, and then they had to go and rescue him, and, you know, whatever, something involve the beast more than what they did. Like, look, Rhinox didn't even talk. He didn't even talk.
That I agree.
I wanted Rhinox to talk, man. I'm sorry. I wanted him to talk. I wanted him to say something. You know.
See, not to relitigate the whole movie, but like I liked the fact that they weren't against each other, because, again, that was in character for the Beast Wars guys. Like, Optimus Primal was not, like, a guy who would get into a fight. He specifically... The original 2 was specifically like, I'm just here to try to peacefully resolve things. If I have to start blasting, I will, but I'm going to not. And that's how he was in Rise of the Beast, the movie, and I actually kind of appreciated that.
So was Prime for the most part. Like, that transit scene, I know a lot of people are like, oh, this is the best thing ever. It doesn't fit. He just murders transit at the end of this. No, I'm glad they.
That's why they cut it.
It explains nothing. The opening.
I like the fact that they made his his bad attitude makes sense because that man was pressed the entire movie.
Yeah, like
that's why he was like that.
The opening of the film that we got explains the villain, the state, the big threat. It explains the beasts. It explains where they came from. If we had the transit scene, we would have got none of that, and the movie wouldn't have made sense.
And we got obscure Beast era cameos because they threw.
Yeah, like, you know, Ape Link was Mark's idea from Hasbro.
Really?
Yeah. Mark was the one who suggested to Steven that they use Ape Link, and Steven was like, sure. And so they made Ape Link. And now I want a toy.
And now lots of people know, and like 10 people knew who that was before, probably.
Exactly. I love it. The director also, he didn't want to put the Decepticons in the film because he's like, we got to give somebody else the spotlight. And so he picked Scourge because, I mean, that's just a cool sounding name, Scourge, right?
Yeah.
So they picked him. And that's why there's like no Decepticons in it. All the characters are like characters that haven't gotten the spotlight before, like Mirage or a proper RC or Nightbird. So like he wanted obscure things to be in here, which is why all that stuff was there. And I like that.
Yeah. Who thought Nightbird was going to be in the movie?
Oh, I love Nightbird is like, if I were to pick my favorite like female Transformer, it's Nightbird because she's always just mysterious ninja. I just think that's cool. And so when she got picked for the movie, I was like, oh, sick. And then they picked the R33 and I was like, yes. It was great.
Doesn't she merge with Tigertron and become something else?
No, that's
that's Air Razor.
Yeah. They become Tigerhawk, who's
full.
Don't spoil it.
He's still watching it. Figure.
Yeah.
Well, he's getting a toy this year.
Yep.
I'm going to say it's not a spoiler because he's getting a legacy figure, and right in the presentation they're like, so this is the combined version of Tigertron and Air Razor, and so if you haven't heard about it yet, it's a bit late for that.
Right? Yeah, they're like 30 years late on that one.
Yeah.
So RJ Eagle on YouTube says Transformer Animated is one of the best with the cartoon to action figure translation. Amazing how they kept the cartoony look in the figures. Stephen Bach says Blackout Grinder and Barricade from Bayverse, awesome. And it also says Chain Guns of Doom. Let's see, RJ Eagle says totally agree with Freakenstein. The Beast Wars character's lack of depth except for Primal and Air Razor. Did really connect with Air Razor. I remember that from watching the movie. And Stephen Bach says those DNA designs mini guns for Battle Trap are lit. Yeah.
The thing I kept saying about Rise of the Beast was Air Razor probably got more to do in that movie than the entirety of the Beast Wars TV show.
Wow.
To me, I just felt this. I felt that Optimus Primal was acting more like G1 Optimus Prime than Prime was in the whole damn movie. He didn't even have that many lines. But to me, he came off as G1 Optimus Prime 100% when I heard him speak and what he was talking about. It was like, that's G1 Prime. What's this Bay Prime doing? What is he doing?
I think that character swap was somewhat intentional. Well, it felt a little bit intentional because I was surprised when Prime was so, edgy.
So Prime, the reason that he is like that in the film is he's been stuck on Earth for 7 years and he's just annoyed that he's stuck there. He wants to get home. And then his best friend gets stabbed and shot and killed in front of him. So he's pissed off, right? Yeah. So he's angry throughout the entire movie because that happens. Whereas Prime...
Wait a minute, who's his best friend? You mean Bumblebee?
Yeah, Bumblebee.
You mean
Bumblebee like the son in all of the movies?
Yeah.
So you grew up watching the movies, and I take it you like Bumblebee, I guess, right? By that comment.
Really,
but for me, because of G1, I've always looked at Bumblebee as nothing but the chauffeur for humans. He was nothing but a chauffeur and a lackey for the humans. Get rid of the humans by get Bumblebee, take him out of town, right? You know what I mean?
It works, right?
Yeah,
you get him to save and blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, they didn't expect to sell so many Bumblebees back in '84. That was like the hottest seller. Yeah.
Oh, God.
Yeah, but it was the cheapest. It was the cheapest, man. It was the cheapest.
Remember when they couldn't... the second Camaro Bumblebee, the 2007 one, that was rare. You couldn't find that. Nowadays, you can't give that away. At the time, everybody was after that. The second deluxe they did for the 2007 movie.
They made more Bumblebee toys for, I think it was Revenge of the Fallen than they have for any other toy line. And it was just for the 1 year Revenge of the Fallen had a toy line. They made many... Like, Bumblebee was the preview toy for the line. That preview toy then got a regular release, which usually doesn't happen. And then they made like what 3 different molds. You had the Battle Blades one, you have the Cannon one, you have the first movie one with the new head, you had the Legion class ones. Like, there's so many Bumblebees for that movie. It's so sick and tired of going to Toys R Us like,
way too
oh,
many
we're gonna get a new
Bumblebees.
toy, and it's just Bumblebees everywhere. It's like, oh, okay, the Bionicles.
So Stephen Bach says, speaking of chain guns of doom in high school on the PS1 Beast Wars game, my friend always wanted to play with Rhinox due to his chain guns of dooms. And before we wrap up for the evening, RJ Eagle has a question for Toyga and for everyone. What's on your Cyber Monday shopping list?
Right, that's a thing.
I already got it. It's coming in tomorrow because of American Thanksgiving. Magnus.
Like, bro, I got like a couple months for Christmas. I ain't buying nothing that's for me. Anything I get's for other people right now. I'm done until 2024.
I did my Christmas shopping already. So anything I buy now is for myself.
So we're the exact opposite situation.
I'm not buying nothing new. I'm just waiting for all my pre-orders to come in. If they come in during December, they come in. But I'm not, like, I got like 30 pre-orders that I've already paid for that still have never arrived, and it's been years. So, like...
Oh, that sucks.
Oh.
Yeah. So, like, it gets ridiculous when you do pre-orders with these companies because, like, even Fans Toys, it took them forever to get some of their pieces out, right? And it's like, why am I pre-ordering all this stuff when... I can just wait. The site that I use will have it. I can guarantee that they'll have it. And if they don't have it, they'll hold it for me. So,
Yeah, I think the only things... I don't think I'm getting anything Cyber Monday other maybe than a pair of headphones because these are starting to go. But there's a ton of stuff I'm getting in December. You got what? On the 1st is the Stranger Things crossover. Got to go pick that up. Then G.I. Joe Soundwave, I believe, comes out on the 2nd. And then NPM Bone Crushers on the 11th, and then the Reactivate 4-packs on the 15th, and then somewhere in the middle of that, Death Source shows up.
Oh, yeah, that's the HasLab Death Source drop on people's doorsteps.
Yep. So December is going to be a very busy month.
Cool.
Very busy month.
TF fan page 101 says, yo.
Oh, hi, Brian.
Me too.
It also says, how is everyone?
Cold. What is it right now? It's -2. So
I'm just
4 a.m. comes around pretty early, so I'm gonna head out for tonight.
Mr. Magnus, nice seeing you.
Nice seeing you once again. Take care, sir.
See you, gentlemen.
We had freezing rain all day here in Windsor, man. It sucked. Like, you go outside and you're soaked within a minute, and then it starts to freeze on your jacket. It's like, no, I'm out.
Oh, that's where the professor went. His battery got out.
We had
that's unfortunate.
A little bit of freezing rain today, but not a ton.
So at the TF Con, I was talking to somebody at my booth, and I was like trying to make a sale with a T-shirt, and I watched you walk by. I literally watched you walk by, and I was like, where's my guy? Where's my helper? Where's my helper? He finally come about like maybe 5 minutes later, and I walked around the whole damn con to try to find you, and you weren't there. You were gone, bro. You were like so fast out of there. It was like, what the hell just happened? Did he like turn into a flash and he's gone? So I walked around again, and still nothing. I couldn't find you anywhere.
There was a point at TFCon where I was in there, and then we hung out in the panel rooms. We watched the third-party panel and the James Roberts panel, I think. And then we hung out in the lobby for quite a bit because we all just wanted to sit. Standing for so long, we just wanted to sit. So hung out in the lobby. We went out to the St. Louis down the street for lunch, and then came back, walked around the dealer room a bit, and then just hung out in the lobby for the rest of the night. That was us. That was the rest of the convention for us. Was just lobby, sitting there.
Yeah. Maybe it's like table, panel, walk around, table, panel, rinse, repeat.
Well,
and never be off the table for too long.
The reason why I was even chasing after you is because Children of Primus was there and they were doing the interviews, and I was like, this is the guy we got to get on the show. The interview, so I was running around the damn con trying to look for you. I'm telling you, I spent like 20 minutes looking for you and I couldn't find you. I'm like, holy shit, this guy disappeared.
I mean, if you see a 6'3" brown guy wearing a blue baseball cap, that's me.
Well, we're the same height.
Hey.
Okay, so when we meet up at TFCon, so if you see two 6'3" guys with baseball hats, that's
Finn, and that's Finn.
So the TF fan page 101 says, "Yeah, I enjoyed me." Actually, how do you pronounce your name? Arjun?
Arjun, yep.
Oh, yeah, meeting Arjun earlier this year, and
yes, I flew over to British Columbia to visit my grandparents, and that's where Brian lives. So I went over to say hi to him. And we almost got run over by a Camaro. It was fantastic.
Wow,
that is
there you go.
That's something.
Who's speaking of Camaro?
yeah,
Camaro, what the?
what was that?
It's gonna go through.
ICX welcome says hi, and also says saw this on Twitter, so I decided to join because why not? What did I miss? Well, sadly, I was going to say that we're closing up the stream for the evening, which you can watch once we're done. Then and also like the video and subscribe to the channel when you get a chance, and also like the Toy Guys videos and subscribe to his channel when you get a chance. And
love the Nightbird avatar. We were just talking about that.
Yeah, totally.
Fan page 101 says the scary Camaro man found us.
Yeah, that was okay. So we were at a corner shop convenience store thing, just sort of hanging out, and we were sitting in the front because they had chairs, and we were talking. And we were sitting in front of a parking space. And so this guy pulls in with an orange Camaro with black racing stripes. He pulls in and decides at that moment to drop a gear and speed up into the parking spot. So the engine made a really loud noise. And he stops right in front. And I'm like, oh my God, we're about to get run over. And Brian's TF fan page's reaction was, is that Cliff Jumper? And I'm like, those are your last words? We're about to get run over. And your last words were, is that Cliff Jumper? And the guy gets out and goes, did I scare you? And I wanted to yell at him.
Have me hanging around. I'll do more than yell.
Yeah. So TF fan page says Cliff Jumper's revenge. Professor D says Nightbird is in Japan. Charlie C says, where are you located, that toy guy? And
Great Frozen North.
Greater Toronto area. I'll just say that.
That is correct.
Grand Theft Auto.
Grand Theft Auto Canada.
ICX says I'm already a sub to him. And
nice.
Actually also says, it's night for us, it's morning for me. Where are you located? That's quite interesting. So
Australia or something?
So as we're slowly wrapping up, I want to say thank you, Arjun, that toy guy, for joining us this evening. Again, where can people find you?
YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, and no, I'm not making that joke. Never mind. Just YouTube, Instagram, and Twitter. I was going to say, and your mom's house. I said it anyways. You know what? Whatever. But YouTube, Instagram, and Twitter.
I called it. Look, Australia.
Yep.
Hey, I used to live there.
No way.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I lived there for 3 years because of my dad's job, and it was really hot, and there was a dust storm the first week we moved, which was fantastic.
Wow.
Everything was red for like 2 days.
Oh, wow.
Everything will kill you there.
If you're careful, you're fine.
And I guess,
check your shoes before you put them on.
Oh, wow. So I just give people a preview of what videos are you planning to release soon?
Well, tomorrow I have, I forgot his name, Thrilling 30 Sandstorm, because I recently got one of those. This idiot, I just wrote his video today, so that should be next week. And then there's the Jurassic Park 3-pack, and then I have a box of 17 plus items from Bai coming tomorrow, so
Nice.
that'll be
certainly busy.
Yeah. Bai wants they want a dedicated video this time, so they went, we're increasing the budget of stuff you can buy, but we want the whole video to be just about the box. And I went, okay. So there's 1,000 things in that box.
Wow.
So that'll
Cool.
That'll be. I have nowhere to put them, but that'll be interesting.
Looking forward to that.
Mm-hmm.
So am I. I'm also not looking forward to finding a place to put that box when I'm finished. It's gonna be huge. I'm not looking forward to the tax because I gotta pay the import tax because
that's what we always complain about
right?
here.
Yep.
We always got to pay for the damn border fee tax. It's and we're already paying way more for shipping than any other country.
Yes.
Like, it
However,
don't make no sense.
Fun fact, because I know a lot of people don't know about it, because I didn't know about this. Hasbro Pulse has changed their shipping to Canada now. So yeah, so it's $7 standard on anything. $75 or more is free, and you don't need premium.
Really? When did this
Yeah,
happen?
from Pulse US to Canada.
So you don't
if
have
you
to pay
you want to
$70 for this.
Yeah, so if you want to get anything from the season savings right now, you can, because it'll all be included in that new shipping thing.
So, like,
I might have
it's
to
just,
get their
you don't get nailed by, like, shipping and import, because that's why I stopped buying off of Pulse, because of that.
Yeah, because it used to be, what, $25 to $30 to... Yeah, now it's $7 US, which is, I think, 10 Canadian.
That's reasonable, yeah, wow.
That's a lot
you should have told me that. Now I can
See, I'm waiting for the next Power Day sale now, because I'm going to be buying a lot of stuff on the next Power Day sale. Because, like... That shipping change, I was so happy to find out about that. And I was like, I don't believe this. And I put Magnetron in my cart to see. And yeah, free shipping on Magnetron.
So Charlie C says, don't. One of our ongoing jokes, Freakenstein, what do you have coming up for this week?
So I got that Magic Square Metroplex, which I'm trying to get Bobby the Bot from Bot vs. Con to do a double reveal video and transformation, all that kind of stuff, because I haven't seen that too much, where two actual people that do their channels get together and open up the box together and go through the toy. I think that would be really cool if we could do that, just a scheduling thing. And plus, I'm getting mine tomorrow. I don't know when he's getting his. I don't know how long I can hold off on not opening up that damn thing, because it's just wicked. Like, I've never seen a Transformer with so many cool LED panels that you can put in. Like, it lights up like a damn city. I want to see that in the dark. Plus, I got a few other new age characters coming with that. And what else do I have? I have a pre-order. The other leg to that Superion's coming too. So
which Superion?
What is it? Moonstu? No, not
Moonstu. Dreamstar
Star Toys.
Oh, the like live actiony looking one.
Yeah,
really sick. It's so freaking beautiful, man. Like, I always tell everybody. Yeah, I always tell everybody, this is what Transformers would look like if Transformers started today. They wouldn't go to this old style of, like, you can see the whole body underneath the arm, like underneath the bot, and there's a plane on top, right? Like, this is what I'm imagining that if because of the technology and the advancements and stuff like that, if Transformers started today, you'd be getting your Chang Toys Dinobot or Predaking like that. You'd be getting your Superion like that, so forth and whatever. So I really like these guys. A lot of people don't like them because they're too stylized, but I'm like, these things are badass. Just a pain in the ass to transform.
They fall apart quite a bit on some people, which is why I've kind of stayed away from that, and I don't need another Superion, so I just don't.
All right.
I did, however, want to read you guys this real quick, because I just got this comment from someone, and it was, here's a better idea. Grow up and stop buying toys.
That's it. I got to completely rethink my entire life.
Yep.
One of my favorite
life has been a lie.
All I gotta say to that is, and this guy will definitely relate to this because I know he likes it. Why so serious?
Someone just put a whole bunch of Bible quotes in my comments.
Oh,
in my help for review.
You should respond to each with a quote from the Covenant of Primus.
Like, what's the point?
They made a book of that, right?
Yes, yeah.
That's so, yeah. I want that book. It's so expensive, though. It's so expensive. It's like $300, $200 now to buy a good copy. It's ridiculous.
So RJ Eagle says, subscribe to the Toy Guy for a good year now. One of the best reviewers out there, in my opinion.
Thank you.
Yeah, ICX says, came here from Twitter. Stephen Box says, my dad worked in Australia for a bit.
Hey, Epic. What did mine?
TF fan pages 101 says it was me all along.
I get it.
And RJ says, I would love to get on board with the Dreamstar Aerobots, but just so pricey. Damn, gotta save up. And over to Deceptikitty. What do you have coming up for this week?
Yeah, so this week I've been working really hard on my web platform. So that's really been in the works. I'm cooking that up for my Deceptikitty stuff. So yeah, keep a lookout for deceptikitty.com. Should be ready sometime this week.
Cool. And Fear or Courage, what do you have coming up for this week?
I'm going to say it's a Tuesday release instead of a Monday release because I had a very busy weekend. But I decided to finally crack open some of these world's smallest guys because a lot of my dear friends keep getting them for me, so I have quite a few now. Because they're like, hey, you're Transformers guys, get these little things. So I cracked 3 of them open and actually given them like a full-on review of what they're like as actual figures. Yeah, so I got a table full of figures here because I was doing the photos right before we jumped on stream. So there goes.
And Spin's been holding out on us.
Yeah, so that'll go out Tuesday on Children of Primus in the news and reviews section.
Nice.
Spin, you've been holding out on us all night. Where's that Dinobot, man?
I haven't. Since I opened them last Sunday, I've put them away in the closet. I haven't. I haven't. Maybe next week I'll pull them back out because it's already a bit late. But I haven't. I've been busy, all week, so I haven't even had a chance to touch them since exactly a week ago. But I'll make sure to bring them back out for next Sunday.
He found this bootleg Dinobot combiner that goes weirdly hard, and it's like very cheap too.
Mm-hmm.
At the dollar store.
Yeah.
It's a dollar store.
Dollar store. Dollarama, like those mono toy like Transformers, but it's a set of 5 Dinobots that combine.
And they're big.
Well, they're big. I have a really tiny one from Dollarama. I've never seen it. Well, I'm going there tomorrow because apparently they have Bomb Burst, Core Class Prime, and Cork Shockwave. So I'm gonna see if I can find those. But I'm gonna try and find that Dinobot combiner now. That sounds hilarious.
It has a whole bunch of different colors for some reason.
Yeah, it's got a whole bunch of different colors, so watch out for that, right?
Ooh, multicolored G2.
Yeah.
Oh, the Snarl was red, so I was like, hey, G2.
It's a Transformer something.
They don't by any chance turn into guns as well, do they?
No,
I saw that one. I saw that.
There's a really old dinosaur combiner. It was dinosaur, Nerf gun, and then robot.
Yeah, and they just made a new one. I got that. That's something I just paid for. What was it? About 3 weeks ago. He's a Gatling gun. It's and I'm sorry, but like, he's huge, man. He's huge. He's huge.
There's a Grimlock. It's a Chinese, third-party thing, but it also transforms into a sniper rifle.
It's really rifle. It's got an assault rifle mode too. I want
that's
that.
Right. That's right.
I want that to go with that stupid sniper rifle thing that I have. It's hilarious.
If you want those guys, they're all on Bumblebee right now. They're all
I'm waiting
they're like
for
$100.
I'm waiting for TF Safari to get them in, and then I'll just grab them from then. Yes, thank you, Brian, is telling me to go to bed.
Yes. ICX says, Jesus, they're small, but I want to get some. But here they cost like $15 each. So
talking about the world's smallest guys?
I believe so.
I understand that they frequently appear at dollar stores around here as well, which is how I wound up with them. Yeah, mine didn't come with the little mini comics like yours, which is a shame. Yeah. I mean, spoilers for the review. They're not great out of the package, as you would expect from something that's more of a novelty. So yeah, don't buy them for like $15. If you get them at the dollar store, maybe. If you have a city,
they go good with what's called Unicron. That's for sure.
Yeah. Unicron, Metroplex, any city formers or base formers, they make good guys to populate that with. But yeah, as action figures, they're kind of limited.
So TF fan page says, later everyone. ICX says, buy the TF fan page. Also Professor D says, new Gatling gun guy looks great. And ICX says, less the little small guys, but we don't have dollar stores where I'm in Western Australia.
Oof.
You got the reject shop though. That was a thing. It's called the reject shop.
Oh dear.
I remember that. I got some fake Lego from there once.
Cool. So yes, we're gonna sign off. So, again, thank you, that toy guy, for joining us this evening.
Thank you for having me. Whoa.
Yep.
Jeez, I don't know where that came from. Thank you for having me.
And for everyone, please like the video. Everyone watching after, like the video, subscribe to all our channels, which we also mention in our description. And as we end the evening, like we like to say, to all our one to end our stream. So thank you to everyone, and to all our one.
To all one.
So, R1.